And she's just squishy. So I don't like to.
Well, rangers are that really cool thing where they can be, close up and far back. Both kinds.
Yeah.
Now, a lot of the spells have to do with, distance. But your abilities with other things, including dual wielding, is very much can go other places. Alright, we will get getting started. What is the actual time?
It
Okay,
is currently
not too bad.
just about 6.
It's 5:23.
Just about 6.
Oh, I knew I fucking forgot something.
The rock is attached to your DM screen.
Oh, that's good, but something else. No, I was gonna have, you woke up to something.
Oh, okay.
Ah, shit.
Uh,
Oh, yeah, the time. Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
no.
God.
Yeah, PTSD.
No. You guys went to bed after the...
Incident.
Yeah.
We went back to sleep except for whoever was on watch.
Mm-hmm. No, what actually did you? Because you woke up, you planted the bean, you did the bean, and I was gonna
Oh
have...
god, yeah, there was a whole thing with
Yeah.
the bean.
We did the bean before we went.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
We did Bean, and then we
Got on
sailed
the boat.
Oh, okay.
Bean was like
we
far
sailed
enough
for
out of
8
town.
hours, then
Oh,
pulled
yeah.
over to go to bed.
That's
And
right.
then the tide happened.
And then
Yep,
the tide
tide
happened, so
happened.
we all got interrupted again.
We should really tell somebody about that. Sure.
They'll find
I'm
out.
sure it'll be fine.
We can include it in our report.
Also, a pyramid just came out of nowhere.
Crazy! It's empty.
What's
There
up?
might be some traps.
Gifts are over there still.
It literally has our name on the front of
No,
it.
but I didn't
Oh,
kind of
that's
straw it out.
true.
They're next to the coffee machine.
Or we could say nothing, and some archaeologist tries to figure that shit out for years.
Oh my god.
But yeah, you're right. That happened. Then you guys woke up because of the tide, and you're about to head off. Yeah, this time when you woke up, when you officially leveled up, something happened.
Okay.
I didn't wake up to the tide.
It
I know you.
No,
did.
you just woke up to screaming and
It's-
punching.
it's not really related. Now it's combat related.
Okay,
Basically, you got a couple mechanical things.
cool.
But I did not prep them.
Okay.
I will say the one thing you did. Well, no, I'll leave it because it was supposed to be a you thing. I was going to give you a letter that happened at the night.
Okay.
But it's all good stuff.
Okay.
All good.
Good character development stuff.
You're welcome
or
to give me
good
bad
as
stuff,
in
too.
morally good stuff.
I'm down for getting cursed. Murder.
Cursing is my thing.
That's
Speaking of
true.
which, you are currently cursed.
Yeah, I know.
It's on the list. It's on the list of things we have to take care of today. Non-optional.
You guys
It's rather high on
are
the list.
8 hours walk.
8 hours
from-
walk, 4 hours boat.
Boat. Yeah.
And we're gonna convince Sparky to get back in the boat because Gunmar has mummy rot.
Mm-hmm.
That's the plan. Is to boat
Yeah.
the next 4 hours.
I mean, I can theoretically survive another
Is to boat the
day.
next 4 hours.
Your max health is the one that drops.
I know.
Like, you can survive for a long while as long
Yeah.
as you don't get hit.
Yeah, I'll be fine.
Does it go down to 1?
It goes down to 0 and you're dead.
Yeah, if his max health ever hits 0, he's dead.
Do not pass go. Do not collect 200 Gunmars.
Well, he's
a
not
lot of them.
dead. You could cast Remove Curse on the body and do that. Or there's higher levels of Live Vivify. Not Revivify,
No,
but
what I
highest levels.
no,
that
by
do Live
dead,
Curse.
dead, I just mean like you're not making death
There,
saves.
yeah,
you're
there's no
just-
death saves.
But yeah, you guys can choose how you want to start the... Well, you've started the morning. You have now exited the sarcophagi temple. Pyramid.
yesterday.
That was yesterday.
That was yesterday.
That was yesterday. You have just woken up after
The tide has come in.
the tide has come in.
Wait, we're sleeping there 2 hours ago.
Yep.
It's like-
You all did get a long rest,
Yeah.
so don't worry about that. But first thing in the morning, it's pretty early. I'm gonna say like 6, maybe 7. You guys get a little extra sleep after that little bit of waking up. So yeah, 7 a.m. You've already had breakfast, and you get to start the day.
Alright.
Everyone back in the boat.
Yeah, but I don't want to. I'm not going to.
Mummy rot. We're fixing it.
Gunmar's dying. Get in the boat.
Fuck! Alright, fine.
And he hops into the cabin and stays there.
Can he roll a perception check to see if he can see the water?
In the room without windows?
You can? Okay.
Yeah, not in the room.
It does have windows, but they're high up, nautical windows.
Oh, yeah.
They let light
He's
in.
2 foot.
He live.
So yeah, you guys start rowing for the next 4 hours. Either 2 people can row and you can be a dinosaur, or everyone can row and you get the same. I think you're a plesiosaur. So yeah, so you and who else?
I am.
Me and Ben.
Okay.
I was also doing the motions.
Gotcha. 4 hours go by pretty uneventfully. You do pass more and more fishing ships as you get close. They have been out, fishing and doing stuff like that. You pass a number of them. Various different sizes, though all relatively... various different crews and makes, and you see Tiefling crews, Titan crews, and a couple other like mixed bag crews. Most of the boats are relatively the same size. They're about 30 feet to 40 feet. Some are trailing, but a lot of them are doing pole fishing with crews of about 6. Seems to be the common methodology around here. And yeah, you guys continue on. You quickly, after about 4 hours, get to the edge of the city and you're in the bay. The bay is is a man-made bay, so it's 2 big rock walls made of boulders that have been moved there. And then basically the entire shoreline is a port. If you go all the way to the right, that will put you right in front of the pier, the guild hall. If you go all the way to the left, it will put you in front of Ishmael's. So it's up to you where you want to go. You will have to pay a docking fee. No, you won't. Yeah, it's affordable boat.
Mm-hmm.
Docking fee, but we have affordable boat. Docking fee.
How long are you planning to stay here? 0.
Just like, you're gonna have to pay to park that. It just
direct eye contact.
Just making direct eye contact with him on the water, collapse the boat and swim to shore.
Sparky might kill us all.
Throw him onto the pier first.
Fly. I'll fly him. Here, give me your hand. Give me your hand. No, give me your hand.
It's nothing. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
It's moist helmet.
Now, Mark, do you want to go to the temple first, see if they can fix you?
Yeah, let's go.
Alright.
Maybe we're gonna ask about
The Warhammer, yeah.
Cool. You guys go over to the left-hand side.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That was so mystical. It was just appeared under my dice box.
I believe I originally gave it to Bray. Or no, Alex did that, I think.
I just put it down. Okay, you guys head over to the Temple of Ishmael.
Yeah.
And, as you're all walking closer to it, going slightly out of order. So let me go to the next page.
How dare we?
Nobody expects the paladin to get mummy rot again.
As you're walking down the pier, you see the kind of ramshackle warehouse that makes it the bulk of this place. Its doors are open, letting in the morning air. It being around 10 right now. So basically there's barn doors and there's a door to the right. You entered via the door to the right beforehand. It's a nice day out now, before it's raining. So the barn doors are open. Inside you can see a lot of beds and such like that as you're walking down the pier, but you also see on this side of the building a little bit of graffiti, but done in a very artistic style, like art. It depicts and it looks, as you get closer, still gleaming a little bit. It's fresh. And it's a depiction of a heavily laden traveler with a pack twice the size of themselves. And they're reaching down and they're about to pick up a smooth stone. If you've ever seen Banksy, it's kind of like that. Grays and blacks and stuff like that. Around the stone is a halo of yellow. It's the only color in the picture. And it looks very fresh.
Nice.
As you enter, the place is decently busy. A lot of the acolytes are rushing around, helping what they can. Probably are used most of their spells by this early in the morning from people coming off the night and stuff. they only have so many. Most of the beds are filled with either people coming in for appointments and such and checks out for long periods of disease. Other people are people with injury get seen pretty quickly because a cure wounds can fix a wound. Is really designed for that. But yeah, it's a busy day. You can see Grumish, the mother of the temple. She's in the back helping somebody right now. She seems to be bandaging a leg.
Gunmar will just walk up. He's like, would you like some assistance?
She, without looking up, oh no, she does look up, and because she doesn't recognize your voice yet. I like say, oh, it's you. No, I have this one. They'll recover soon enough.
Okay.
Do you need something?
Yes. Do you have remove curse?
I do. Are you
have-
cursed?
Yeah, I have mummy rod again.
All right, take a seat over the empty bench. I'll be with you in a minute.
Thank you.
Very nice for her not
I like how
to bring
she
up again.
Blink about the
Yeah.
again.
You didn't blink it again. You sound like you're being put in time.
Mom, give her her mummy rod again.
She is called Mother.
You do know that mother is the head of a temple.
Yeah.
It's either mother or father.
Mommy or daddy.
Gumish goes over to you, and let me bring up her spells, because I did prepare that spell today. Yep. She walks over to you, and are you guys with him, or, yeah.
Yeah.
I have my helmet off. It's not the Dreadhound, but out of respect, just take it off.
Alright, let me take a look at you. And she looks you over and stuff and does a medicine check. Which she scores, she has a plus 12, so... Oh god, yeah. She diagnosed you almost immediately with Mummy Rod. Alright. So how'd you get this one?
Oh god. Are you aware of the magic item, magic beans? We planted a bean and a pyramid popped out of it. There was a mummy lord inside that gave me memory rod.
Can you roll deception for me? No, perception.
Persuasion.
Persuasion.
I'm proficient in that now.
Yay.
You did it.
I roll decently now.
Yeah.
Very proud.
I like how the story sounded so fake that even God
21.
would roll deception.
Huh. Alright.
Yeah. You may hear news of a pyramid showing up just on the path to, and he will save the village.
Landover.
You will hear about a pyramid appearing on the side of the road from here to Landover.
About a quarter-mile outside of Landover, towards this town.
I claimed it.
I see.
You plan to see.
About 60 feet tall, I can't miss it.
I will make a day trip sometime.
It's safe. We cleared it of traps of the mummy. But yeah,
Did we clear it of traps? I know we
Yeah,
killed
we
the
did.
mummy. We
We
did?
did.
Okay, cool.
yeah.
They were all actually pretty rudimentary traps too.
Cool.
But they're also guarding,
Like linen.
yeah, they were guarding household goods, fundamentally.
Yeah.
So, all right. Just want to make sure. Okay. Well, you're asking for a remove curse. I can do that. I'm happy to do it. But do ask if you're able to pay. A donation to the temple is greatly appreciated.
Alright. How much?
For this, excuse me a second.
17,000.
We have more than enough. Not 17,000, but you know.
Traditional, a third level, is about 200 gold.
Alright. And Gunmower Hunter 250.
Thank you for your donation. And she pockets it. She puts it in a pouch, and you can hear it clink with other coins and stuff like that. There's not a lot in it. Alright, hold still. And she pushes her hand over your chest, and you can see the energy flow from her own charm down her, and you can see the glow just travel down her fingers, and they flow into your armor. And similar to what had happened before, you feel a whoosh as behind you, dust particles and sand and just this whoosh of energy flows out of you as the curse is broken.
Yay! I no longer have the big ouch.
You no longer have mummy rod.
Yeah.
Money?
No, microphone's on.
Yeah.
Thank you. And one other thing.
Certainly.
In Landover, we finished our business in Landover. It went well.
It's good to hear.
I ran into an artifact from before the redemption, and he will say the proper title for when Ishmael was redeemed.
Oh, it's just called the Redemption.
I found an artifact from before the redemption, and Gunmar will take out the warhammer.
She picks it up and looks at it very closely. What this would be? Wow. Okay. What's like a warhammer?
Gunmar will. Yeah, when we found it, it called to me, but when I picked it up, and this is gonna sound weird, Ishmael himself told me to destroy it.
That sounds important.
Yep. He said to attune to it at your own risk.
Oh, I printed out a new sheet for you.
I see.
He said to attune to it at your own risk, but whenever I get the first chance to destroy it. I came here to see if that could be done here.
You got me in a bit of a tangle. I think normally someone of my expertise might be able to at least diagnose it. But you have to understand, a lot of people who turn to Ishmael do not start off as clerics. And so we're not quite as high trained as some of other people in our profession. You'll need somebody who can read the lore of this. You'll need at least somebody who's level of a herald.
Does anyone know what level a herald is?
No, because it's an Empire-specific hierarchy. But she is prepared to tell you about it.
Alright.
Oh, you would know.
Uh,
With a low check and advantage, probably.
Forgive my ignorance, but I don't know what a herald is.
That's perfectly fine. After you get past Mother, it becomes more administrative in the temples. Or individuals that talk directly to the gods themselves.
Okay.
We don't have one. Ishmael is not a powerful god. Anymore, at least. You'll have to go to another temple and find one. But the good news is, there should be at least several in this city. A herald is a head of many temples. They can be found in bigger cities and such, where a deity might be the patron deity of that city. And they might have multiple temples there. But at least one to every god should be in this city due to our standing. Above them is an elder, and they're in charge of a domain, a full kingdom. Sorry, you guys, I've mentioned this, but very briefly. Domain is the ruling of a single king's rep. A king's rep rules a domain. Think of it as a state. Elders would be able to do it as well. They're actually technically more common than heralds, but they're very politically tied. You would need to get in with a king's rep that has one in those, that has a domain big enough to require one. The good news is they're more common as you get closer to the capital. After that, the last one that you will probably see before you get to the capital, if you have the chance, is a chancellor. The chancellors live in this city. They are in charges of the new empire half. They represent their order, domain, the religion for the new part of the empire, and they're housed in this city, in Basintel. There's 2 levels above that, but you won't see them outside of the capital for the most part. One is the archpriest. They are the head of the temple itself. They run the administrative day-to-day work of making sure acolytes get where they go to, that standards are being upheld. They basically run the temple. The level above them is the avatar. They're people who directly and are foreign communication with their gods. They keep the spiritual of the order in check. The spiritual nature and making sure that people are adhering to it. They can also bestow oaths and do a couple other things, and they're the final word in judgment for any issues or complaints that happen within the temple. They're also adjudicators of the God's words. There's one for most of the major religions, but sometimes they can speak for the entire pantheon. So for such, there's one for the entire human race. Most of these individuals are very hard to reach, some of which are in the court of the emperor himself.
Yeah. I just want the swirl out of the back so I can put it in the thing.
Hi.
Hi.
Hello.
Oh, thank you.
Petition.
Oh, when she
Um,
maybe in a bit.
just put it.
We'll wait till
I
Michael's
guess
here.
just put it like
Though I think he has signed.
on and then raise
But
it.
yes, you'll need at least a herald.
Because I gotta get the box.
And you said we could find one here.
Possibly. They actually are less common here just because they're head of many temples, and you will find them in cities that are dedicated usually, that have a few or 1 or 2 patrons, gods. You'll find actually far more common here Chancellor, but they've
More difficult to get in touch with.
They are, yes. These are very busy individuals. They have many duties, and the strength of their power makes them wanting. Makes them wanted, and their audience and time valuable. They have access to very high levels of magics, and can do many things. Commonly, they can rejuvenate limbs for the most worthy, and perform great acts of resurrection.
Alright.
They should be more than powerful enough to help you with this.
Thank you.
Sorry.
Oh, good.
Michael just pulled up.
Cool.
My first thought at that was just like, would you need resurrection magic or regeneration magic to get?
Yes. Resurrection magic. He just becomes like
He's
fully
already
human again.
resurrected. He needs his flesh back.
Wild.
The thing is, those aren't his skeletons.
Expecting.
Thank you. I will see to it that if possible, it is destroyed this day, or at least while we're still here.
Get someone to look into it. They should be able to answer more questions. If you haven't identified it, I'd recommend that as well.
I know all of what it does, except for it has 2 hidden things that identify could not. Sure.
It might have more than that. If it has strong magics on it. Protection from identify is a common thing for some high-level artifacts. If it is truly an artifact.
Yeah, it's a +2 weapon, so
It's very rare.
yeah, but it's not an artifact. I don't believe. What?
Terminology.
No, I'm just.
Ah,
You're on different sides of the table.
Is there anything I can help you guys with while you're here?
anybody else have mummy rot?
Not yet. We have the shard.
Yeah, we can
Thanks.
leave some here.
Oh yeah, the
Hey,
hey, how'd it go?
Went great.
Yeah,
You didn't scream when I came in. You
Michael!
No, fuck you. It's too late. You do it for everyone else.
we were in the middle of roleplay.
And yet you still stopped everything.
Sorry.
I honestly didn't
Not
notice
you,
you come in.
I
I was
did.
too focused on like roleplay. Sorry, Michael.
No, I'm sorry for interrupting.
okay. We haven't done much. We
We
started.
basically got back to town.
Yep.
We demummy-rotted Gunmar.
good. That was.
We started with that.
yeah. Okay.
You have since learned, and I will remind you and post this eventually. You now know the hierarchy of how the temples work.
Okay.
Roughly.
Cool.
There's like 4 levels between the mother of the temple here and basically the Pope.
Oh damn. You know, it's fewer levels than I thought.
They get exponentially more selective.
The
5. There are 5 levels.
Okay. Still more than I was.
the problem in Landover that we were sent to solve by King's Rep
Bandwidth.
King's Rep Bandwidth. It wasn't any type of cult, so that's good.
Which we were supposed to keep secret, by the way,
Yeah.
as much as possible.
That's fine. We don't judge here. If
Alright.
you want to keep quiet from now on, that's fine as well. But I'm guessing you had something that worried you and you would like me to see.
So,
We have.
shall we go and it is my Darwin is correct. It is meant to be secret.
We've come across some unusual material that requires assistance in the temple. So-
Jesus.
Alright, I'll take a look and see the best I can do, but I must admit my specialty is medicine, and if it's outside of that realm, it might be another thing to talk about when you find someone able to help you with that warhammer. But yeah, let's go to the back. And it's a very small storeroom. You can see there's a number of bandages, large jugs. Some of you recognize them. You would recognize some of these, and you would recognize some of these. Everyone's proficient in medicine or the alchemy kit. You would recognize antiseptics, which are in a couple other things to clean wounds with, in tools and stuff like that, as well as just jars of like really heavy alcohol, stuff that you could dilute down, like 90% and stuff like that. You know, big jugs of it like on the floor, so that good stores and stuff like that, as well as bandages and other things. Various tools needed for certain surgeries and stuff. So it's a little cramped back here.
Alright.
90% of our party is quite small. Beck, if you would.
Crystal.
I don't say anything.
I said I'm lean.
You're small in
I'm
the horizontal
leaner.
sense.
You take out one of the
Yeah.
soul stones.
One of the thousands of soul stones we have.
Hundreds. Picks it up.
Millions.
It's sharp and pointy. I don't know what this is.
We have reason to believe that it is something called a soul stone.
Huh.
From what little that we know, a soul stone is a conglomeration of souls that did not make it to their god.
No idea, mate.
That's fine.
I apologize. The Temple of Ishmael open to all and open to everyone, but since his redemption, our numbers have dwindled and his strength has gone down. And we no longer have the traditional hierarchy structure. We're just not as powerful enough to spread it around. And as I said, a lot of us don't train to become clerics. We wind up this way. Hands it back.
We just wanted to see if it sparked anything.
It's nothing on me, so it's got to be, well, above my pay grade, I guess.
Mm.
And there's unfortunately,
First two.
Yep.
there's not a lot above me here. We do have a main temple at the capital, But even then, their powers would maybe match a herald's. Maybe a little stronger, but not even reach the domain of a chancellor.
Thank you anyway.
Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention, like I've mentioned this before, she's a full-blown orc.
Yeah.
And she's 6'10". So, yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone.
Yeah.
Sparky's giving up.
I
He's looking at her knees. Not weirdly. mind you.
Respectfully.
Respectfully looking at her knees.
Yeah.
It's just like my neck started hurting 15 minutes ago. I'm sorry, ma'am.
My eyes are up here.
got a flexible ass bird neck.
Sparky doesn't?
I got a shitty lizard neck.
Sparky's neck does not have a lot of range of motion.
Thank you anyway. You have been a great help.
Welcome. I hope you can find what you're looking for wherever you go.
We're gonna try.
In any case, do you have anybody that would require that I can help?
We have a few that are coming in for their daily treatments. If you want to pass around some healing, they could probably help them out.
Alright, I can do that.
How much land hands would you like to use?
I can also help if needed.
You have cures, like healing word and cure wounds, right?
Mhm.
I have healing with cure wounds and less restoration.
Restoration actually would come in tremendously handy.
Cool, I have that. I also have wither and bloom.
I volunteer as tribute.
I
You
have.
don't have to damage someone.
I
I'll
have
be a blood donor.
as tribute.
I have bugs which are both unhelpful and gross.
That's good to know.
No, I was talking
Oh,
to Alex. I was
gotcha.
not telling the lady that.
She knows your bugs. They're everywhere.
If you want to use less legislation specifically, a lot of the lower acolytes will use healing word and cure wounds to do wounds, and there's enough of them. There's about 6 that they usually can handle the wounds that come in every day, unless some traumatic event happens. But cure less restoration can cure diseases, and being a dockside town, some individuals come in with certain diseases of a sensitive nature that they don't go to the main temples about. And there are 2 people here waiting for that. One is of sensitive nature. Another one is of legitimate, actual, like, he's got boils and stuff like that. It's a very bad rash. That
They're
is
both
classified as-
legitimate.
I will.
One's just clandestine.
I have 40 lay on hands.
You can use them all.
36.
I will use 34. 'Cause that leaves 1 for
Each of them.
Cool.
Yeah.
Do you want to use less registration to cure one of them?
I can cure both of them.
If you would like. They're very appreciative as you do it. One is a younger man, maybe of 22, and is coming in for more sensitive areas. The other one's a 35-year-old fisherman who, like, was finally forced to come in, and he's complaining the whole time, saying it's not a big deal. It's a rash that covers his back. That he's just been brushing off, and like, this isn't that big of a deal. I don't need sleep anyway. And
Just tell me if you feel better.
well, I gotta admit, I do feel a little bit better now. You know?
That's all that matters.
It's just like that shirt was white when I gave it to you.
Oh, no, it's yellow. Yeah, you used all of it.
Yeah.
And you partial cure a bunch of the older individuals, which helps a lot.
Yeah.
But you actually do have some left over, and you full cure a couple of diseases of other individuals.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So what's the other guy hurting with?
Well, you know, like, there's different ports, and, you know, we're usually bunked in for a couple days, and, you know, I have some skills, and, you know, I float around here, there, and I met this nice individual, and I'm not blaming
so
them.
You made something out of wood for her and you hurt yourself.
That's exactly right.
Okay.
Yammer just has a note, just like,
And, you know, it's doing okay, but it hurts a little bit, and
Let me see your hands. Okay. They don't look too bad.
it's in a more sensitive area.
What, like your elbows? Your knees?
More south.
Your feet?
More north.
Vanya.
Your thighs?
Warmer. Vanya. Vanya.
Now I want to see how long this goes.
Do you want? I can also Lesser Restoration, and I believe I know what the problem is.
Oh, that's fine.
Do you want?
No, this is her thing. You know.
If you want.
If you're sure.
I don't care who does it. It's just.
I'm just interested. The other person had a rash. I always like figuring out what people are up to.
This is.
I have a feeling this is also probably a rash.
Do you have a rash?
It's rash-like. It's.
Buddy, she ain't gonna judge you.
Well, it's just, it's,
Why don't the rest of us give
We'll
them
go.
some privacy?
Oh. Is it on your bum bum?
Oh, like beside it?
Your left bum bum?
I think we've all left at this point, so
Yeah.
it's just these two having a moment.
It's around the shaft at the base.
Ah. Intercourse, of course.
Didn't I think of that?
Can we give Vanya inspiration?
Sorry, it's been a while.
That was fucking hilarious.
And it cures that area, and it's like,
Now just be careful going to ports, some people don't take good care of themselves.
hey, thank you.
Have fun up there.
And he puts out a bag of gold and heads out. What's registration? Is a level 3 or 2?
2?
I think it's
It's second level.
I cast it
you-
higher.
Because I have.
Oh yeah.
If he needs it higher.
No.
Yes,
It's dire AIDS. It's like regular AIDS, but dire.
It's a level 2, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's level 2.
He drops off a bag. It's about 67 gold, which is a fair chunk of change for just an average sailor.
If they give me any money, I'm giving it to the church.
Yes.
I come back to the group. Are we kind of secluded off?
Yeah, I would say you're basically outside, kind of to the door now.
That guy had something on his dangling.
Yeah.
He's not practicing safe intercourse, guys.
Now, how does it feel to die of laughter after drinking
Sparky, are you
something?
okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. Sorry, I just got.
You guys will promise me if you guys do it, it'll be safe, right?
I'm not it.
Look, Darwin, I'm just saying, you'll find someone who likes your bones. I like your bones, but not in that way.
The dogs
I
have
like
these
his
bones.
bones. Thank you, I appreciate
He's
it.
my bone boy.
Is there anything else we have to do at this temple?
Vanya,
This
I will
holy
practice
place
safe
in
sex. I'm going to roll
particular?
for deception.
I don't
will
think
practice
so.
safe sex.
That's a 5. That's an deception.
What would I do, insight?
Yeah, that's all right.
If I got a nat 1,
11.
if I got a nat 1, but I still got more than his roll,
That's still a success for you.
I don't need to roll, I have a +7.
I rolled an 11.
I roll with that 20!
You know he's so full of
You
shit.
get a card!
Oh, you do?
27.
You know Gunlight's full of shit.
Yeah, you know beyond a reasonable doubt.
I mean, he has a child.
It's like, I'm a
He never
wife.
Can you get me a
practiced
sody
safe
hop, please?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
As long as it's with the person you love.
Yeah. And that's
Share those diseases together.
Exactly, God.
I'm immune to disease.
Yeah, that is a thing. Oh, one last thing. This is actually just to catch up. Michael,
That also came as an afterthought.
Yes.
when you guys came up on the Temple of Ishmael, you actually came up from a different direction. Because you bought your boat and then disassembled the boat.
Oh yeah.
We voted.
You saw a piece of artwork on the side of the temple.
Oh.
It was of a traveling man heavily laden with a pack twice their size, and he was bending down to pick up a smooth stone. Done in kind of a graffiti, Banksy-like style, black and grays. The smooth stone had rays of light coming out of it that were yellow, and it had some sheen on it, so this was relatively new.
Did it have a autograph or anything?
No.
Ishmael.
When
He's got art now.
when he's not contacting you, he's out doing graffiti.
On his own temples.
Nobody suspects their god of
Ishmael
doing.
Ishmael was here. The S and was is like a backward C.
But yeah, it's, after all that, call it 11.
Yeah.
Neat. Yeah, up to you guys what to do next. Like, you've basically finished at Ishmael.
Yeah.
Do we want to... We got a couple other things we wanted to do. Do we want to go talk to Bandwidth?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah.
There's no more pressing.
What else did we have to do? There was one other
We're
thing.
talking to Bandwidth.
Mission,
There was
sea stuff.
shopping. There was the city underwater if we want to go there.
What?
It's a floater. It's an idea.
No, the city's very much underwater.
the city isn't. The city isn't floating.
And then there's going to the Silent Lady's temple, which, since she's the one in charge of souls, she might actually, or well, the people there might actually be able to help us with these things.
That was the one that I forgot. No other ones.
But Bandwidth needs an update from us instead of just Frank.
Yes.
Not that Frank's not great.
He's just overly concise sometimes.
Right.
Because I am.
Frank is the Spark Notes.
I thought Sparky was the Spark Notes.
Spark is the whole notes.
Me and the dragon give you finger guns.
Hey.
Right, there's a dragon now.
God about that.
So name ideas?
Technically 2 sometimes.
So many dragons.
What about Prism?
Ooh.
Prism's a good one.
Prism's a really good one.
You know, Darwin's named a lot of things in his
Darwin,
town.
yeah,
Darwin's
good at naming
good at
things.
names.
What do you think about Prism?
It says in Primordial that.
Yeah.
Do you know any Eric Okran names?
Do you know Primordial?
Not one, no.
I
I'll
do.
work on it.
I do. Squark.
You're not wrong.
Oh, there's also
Put me there.
That was pretty racist.
Wait, is that true? Fuck, am I? Whoa, sorry.
Did I do a racism?
This is
I'm
a
sorry.
this is a thought that Bray had. Right?
On some level, yes. But
But I also have a
Yeah,
But
cousin
my
named-
mom's name is just Ari.
Oh!
I think Bandwidth is this way.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, I'm racist. I'm working on it.
glad to see I'm not the only unintentional racist in
It's supposed to be against school.
This is Bray, but I'm just thinking, like, I could also see Beck being an Eric Okra name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I definitely thought you were going to say, I could also see Beck being
Beck being
racist. Like, not the plot development I expected.
But I'll take it.
Oh, it'd be more like Peck. Like P-E-K.
I'm glad I'm not the only unintentional racist in this party. Alex Graves, 2023.
You guys make your way up the main road. The one that hugs the outer wall of the Tiefling District. And as you make your way up, you come to the main doors. They're open, as usual. People are going in and out. But you're at the entrance at the Tiefling District.
New?
Did we have to, like, send word ahead last time we were here?
No, you got invited in because the butler was obeying orders.
Yeah.
Do we want to deal with the butler, or do we want to just send Frank again and tell him we're on our way?
I want to deal with the butler, kind of.
Okay, well, let's deal with the butler then.
He was a prick, but the funny kind.
Okay.
He may have been specifically told to let us in this time, though. So it could be less fun. I'll find out.
Why didn't you say that in whole
Oh, thank you so much.
I said that with like a question mark on it.
Big city.
Oh, thank you so much.
I'm a terrorist.
Sorry, question marks confuse me sometimes.
You guys enter in and head over to the crossroads, the center of town in the Tiefling district.
Say it quietly, I'm an eco-terrorist.
There was no equal in that.
I'm just a terrorist.
That conversation went, thank you, I'm a terrorist.
We get invited into a lot of heads of state houses.
Because we're
I can make it
terrorists.
harder and more realistic.
Stop pointing it out.
So, you guys start heading in. It takes you a couple minutes, but you finally get to the crossroads. The crossroads is the center of town. For the Tiefling district specifically. Because they know how to be on theme. On the corner to your left from coming in is Bandwidth's Manor. Straight across the road from that is the department store that you got some magical items from. Catty corner to that is a very nice restaurant that you have been to and had a private room at. The other corner is another municipal building. Based on the signage out front, it's pretty easy to see. It's the King's Hall. So Bandwidth Hall Manor is not the King's Hall. Bandwidth Manor is his home. Yeah, even though he's the King's rep.
He might be in there if he's working today.
You got it.
I was thinking about Sparky in a newsy outfit, and I may have zoned out for a second. That's totally on me. You caught me.
Sorry, I was thinking about cute outfits.
So yeah,
So there's Bandwidth's house, and then there's City Hall. Which one do we think he might be in at 11 a.m.?
Well, the question isn't where do we think Bandwidth is going to be. Where do we think is going to have the best interaction? And I think we all know that's probably with the demon guy at the King's Hall.
Gotta at least try it.
No, that's at his house.
That's at his
That's
house.
We're going to his house.
To be fair,
Isn't
that's
it like
where
a
we
Monday or
found him
something?
last time.
I don't know what. Is it Monday?
Mhm.
Oh, it's Monday.
Yeah, it's like it's a Monday. He's probably doing work, and
They
work.
wanna
You
Like,
can at least say a hi.
Oh god, is he a demon or a devil?
What's that?
He's a devil.
He's a devil.
The
Yeah.
devils.
Racism.
There's a difference.
There is.
no, that already happened.
It keeps happening. Our leader's racist.
So which one do you want to go to?
Well, I'm going to leave it up to you guys. We can go either to the place where we know he's not, but there we know who is
I
there.
mean, he might be there. He might be working from home.
Or we can go to the place that we probably think he's at.
Let's go to the place where we probably think he's at.
I disagree.
Guys, really? Is this where we're going to split the party? On this subject?
Let's check the house, be wrong, and then go across the street.
I have no problem.
They're 30
with
steps
this
away.
I mean, I don't either, but
plan. But Vanya's
So-
tiny legs.
I had to. Why are you calling out Bonnie?
He's the only one
Specifically.
with 25-foot move speed.
You want me to?
I can just carry Vanya.
You're
That's
shorter
a
than
word.
I am.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
But I'm scary.
And I'm not. I look like Velma from Scooby-Doo.
If you ever want to change that to a 30, go right
I
ahead.
know, 25. I have animals that can be fast.
Okay.
Okay.
So we're going to the manor.
Yeah.
All right.
so.
Yeah.
Yep.
You go up to the manor. I no longer have that picture. Oh, actually, do I? I might have that picture.
Oh my.
Basin
An extra
Town.
5 feet of distance.
Here it is.
So you left.
Are we down?
So, yeah, that's his manor house.
Yes.
Old New York, if you wanted to know. Great stuff. Turn of the century. Lots of money. Anyway, fundamentally what it means is the door is up a small staircase right on the sidewalk. You guys walk up to it. The big old double doors, beautifully in wood, deep, thick wood. Who knocks?
I'm the one who knocks.
But a moment goes by, and the door opens, and a very audible creak that's just like... And walking and looking from around the corner and adjusting himself, you see a very tall humanoid figure, pale skin, taunt against his bone structure. You can smell the a rather pungent perfume. His hair is white and fully slicked back. He's got a rather long nose, and he's beaming at you with eyes, and you recognize him as the butler.
Hello.
Howdy.
Hello again.
Your boss home?
Who's asking?
Nobody.
Pac Magica.
Pac Magica is allowed in. He's upstairs in his study. Follow me.
He was here.
Question.
Again.
Do we remember how to get to the study?
We're being led.
You are being led. The last time he took you, though, he took you the long way to show off that he's gotten around the orders. This time he's taking you directly there.
Okay.
It's a much shorter route. It's up the steps to the right and to a right again.
This man is also not nearly as big as Cantus is.
Oh yeah, he's tall and gaunt and thin, but he's not like giant.
No, the manor.
Less.
Oh yeah, the Manor's not as big.
Yeah.
Though interestingly, Manor, Cantus's house, you never really went to the deep parts of it because you didn't need to. Because you go in, you take a right, you go down a huge corridor, and you take a left. Anyway,
One room and one wing.
you guys go. You take it to the third floor and to the corner of the house that is right up against the courtyard. And he gets to the door. He knocks, opens, and says, "Presenting Pact Magica," and pushes the door open and steps back and guides you in, or gestures for you to enter.
Actually, it's Pac Magica.
I'll make sure to get it wrong next time.
Appreciate it.
As you all filter in, he shuts the door.
You right? Right?
No.
No.
That's rude.
Yes.
On par.
Lord Bandwidth is
Here.
here at his desk. I have a picture. This is what he looks like.
Nice.
Fancy, fancy.
I like the beard.
Should we put him up here?
The boulder.
Nice.
That works surprisingly
That's
well.
amazing.
I'm good. I'll get 4 more. I get 4 inspiration, right?
No, you get max 2, like everyone else. Use your inspiration.
I don't get my STD inspiration.
If you have inspiration to gain, because you totally deserve it for that. But if you already have 2.
His cape is giving me super rug vibes.
See,
That rug is gonna smother his ass.
You do know, from just generally from your last interaction from him and hints and stuff like that, he is a tiefling of Mammon. And specifically, he follows Mammon.
He's the money one, yeah?
Yes. He's the one who cares more about money than souls, though he gets all his money because of souls.
Yeah.
Welcome. Come in. Come sit down.
Hello.
I got your message. I'm good to hear that everything was taken care of, but please fill me in the complete details.
Oh, right, I do the talking now. Sorry, we were at Ishmael's temple for so long.
You all can talk, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My brain.
I'll go ahead and start, and they'll fill in the details. So, we went to the town. It was covered in a purple haze, like you suggested. Like you said. We entered, found people lying on the floor, seemingly unconscious, or they were still alive. We feel free to fill in.
We're not connected. I haven't done that
I'm
today.
messaging.
Cool.
And Sparky does a very obvious pause.
So-
So cast.
We went to town. It'd been hit by a meteor.
I see.
And the meteor was made of some sort of weird space rock that kicked everybody's souls out of their bodies. Why they were all unconscious.
Okay.
And also, if you touched it, it turned you into a monster.
Okay, I'm confirmed. I got turned into a monster.
I didn't.
So, we gathered up all the people and started trying to figure out how to take care of the fact that their souls were not in their body. We met some folks, some goblins, who were trying to also get to this
It was a
rock.
band of mercenaries.
Did you find out the name of the mercenary man?
Drunken tribe.
I know of them. Okay.
As did I.
They wanted the space rock. They didn't hurt anybody.
Hard to cause a meteor. I don't think they're that strong.
Nah, but they
Oh.
wanted to take it out, which is why they were there.
Mm.
But the meteor was also making time weird, so they thought they'd only been there for a couple hours. They'd been there for weeks.
No, they've been there since Tuesday.
So it's Tuesday. 5 days. 5 days.
Yeah, it was 5 days when we got there.
Do we know if our timeline syncs up with the rest of the world's?
Yes.
Currently?
Yes.
Okay, it does.
We have figured that out.
I think someone specifically looked at the stars.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
we had
the
the
astronomer told us.
astronomer
Yeah.
check. Like, it was like the first thing we did when everybody got fixed.
Alright.
So, really long story short, we shattered the space rock, which shoved everyone's souls back into their bodies. We beat up one of the leaders of the Drokig tribe, so they left. And that's about it.
What
Oh.
happened? Go ahead.
One person did die when the meteor hit.
Ah.
Yes.
It destroyed the building it hit.
It went through the clock tower, and
And Cedar Hall.
Oh.
and unfortunately, someone was in the building when it collapsed.
Terrible. But,
They were the only casualty, though.
it's good it was so minimal. I'll send some people down there to help rebuild and assist.
Also, very strange, but we found a pyramid out there, and
Right outside town.
maybe it's related. I don't know.
Darwin.
He's gonna make you roll deception.
No. So,
This is upsetting. Can I roll deception real quick?
no, because I'm clarifying.
You can
But I
roll deception
wanna see
before
it.
that clarifies.
It's true.
I'll give you with disadvantage, and you still get to explain.
Oh, I don't need disadvantage.
Where we're going, we don't need disadvantage.
We're talking to a warlock, after all.
That was actually not horrible. That was a 10.
Oh, wow.
Perfectly average.
You rolled a 12.
Perfectly average.
Rolled in 13.
You're -2.
Yeah, Darwin has these two to talk, so he's expecting other things like murder.
More or less, yeah.
I think I've just got like 11 charisma. I forgot that I had.
You said 10, right?
Yeah.
So beat you by 1. You rolled really low.
Oh no.
You were saying?
So,
How did Darwin get away with lying to us
Af-
for so long?
after
Ask questions.
after we shattered the meteor, the Drokig clan took a fair portion of the stones that were left over, and we have the remainder in our person. But they also gave us a number of magical items, basically in exchange. And one of those was a bag of beans, and it seems one of those beans is able to grow into a pyramid.
And now there's a pyramid outside town.
So there is now a 60-foot tall pyramid about a quarter mile outside of, Bray forgets the name of the town,
Landover.
Landover.
It's empty. We cleared it.
Of the mummy lord.
Good news.
We cleared it of the mummy lord that gave me mummy rot and the traps.
Yeah, so it's safe. It's just
A
going.
pyramid.
It's going to bewilder any passerby.
So we had a load of shit on that ship
Yeah.
because we looted everything from the temple. What did we do with it all?
Yeah, you had like 7, 8 chests worth of stuff.
Have I just been re-upping Tensor's floating disc this whole time?
Maybe.
I would say you left it at the docks.
Okay.
Like, have fun.
This whole time, Sparky's just...
Put 5 silver down as you...
Collateral, basically.
Well, basically,
Rent.
yeah, you can basically
Paper
rent
sword
out a
base.
space that like, hey, I need to unload this, but I also need to move this ship. So this is mine, defend it. It's part of the perks of a well-mortgaged pier. So take 5 silver for, fundamentally, you bought a space.
And we'll move it to the wagon later.
The poor wagon.
You actually have a hard time putting yourselves in the 6 chests. 8. There's 8
Strap
chests.
it to the roof.
It's mostly stuff we aren't going to use, so we can sell it now that we're in town.
Well, it's mostly stuff we're going to give, like all the shards we're probably going to leave at the temple.
Shards
Yeah.
are not the hard part about that. It's
Oh.
the tremendous amounts of linens
Oh, yeah.
in the chests.
Oh, right.
You know what?
You're talking about the loot from the pyramid.
Yeah, no.
Oh,
we-
Oh,
yeah.
we could just give the...
No, we have
Just
several
donate
hundred
that
yards of linen.
Just
And
donate
household
that
goods.
Yeah, donate the
to the temples.
The linen sounds like, yeah, a great thing to give to a temple of
Uh,
Are there any
Ishmael would
colleges in
really
this town? Like,
Oh yeah. Yeah, this is kind of a college town. But like, if all the colleges were in one town.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
But furthermore, the stone that the meteor was made of wasn't just some ordinary metal or rock. It was something called anima lapis or soulstone.
He recognized when you say anima lapis, because that's technically infernal. Soulstone.
I'll pull out one of the shards and offer it over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He does pick it up with mage hand and brings it over to him.
The meteor was. I'm imagining each of these like footballs.
No. They're tiny.
They're about this.
Yeah.
They're like
Yeah.
fistful.
Because if we got 100 and that made up like a quarter of a meteor.
Like a Nerf football.
A really sharp Nerf football.
I just
Really
remember
hard,
Power weapon.
indestructible Nerf football.
I just remember that they're smaller than the one I'm carrying around.
Yes, but yours is also shaped in
Yeah.
a much more convenient shaped. These are smaller, but they're technically longer and pointy. Yours is all nice and rounded and stuff. Because yours hasn't worked, and you learned that changes some of the things.
Yeah.
This is very strange. Do you know what you're going to do with it?
We're hoping to give it to.
We're gonna talk to the
yeah.
Temple of the Silent Lady, see if they can know anything with it. If they don't know the answer, we're probably gonna have to find somebody higher up the religious chain.
Because our understanding is that these are souls that didn't make it to their destination.
Strange. I gotta admit, I've never heard of anything such as this to a degree. I do know of souls that head to the Nine Hells and appear on our shores. Appear on my master's shores and such. But they don't come in as rocks. Come in as these creatures called lemurs. So, I'm not... I think if it works anything like the lemurs or something, that these shouldn't be destroyable, but you should be able to change their form. And if there is true souls stuck in here, I bet they would appreciate it. You may have them back. Here you go.
Yes,
Hopefully it is either so unimportant as to have not been written down, rather than so important that it has been kept secret.
Alright. While we're on the topic of religious hierarchy, do you know where we can find a
Herald.
herald or an elder? We-
Ishmael specifically? or
No,
in general?
just in general. We have a
I have a personal relationship with a couple of the elders of the area.
in the treasure hoard that we got from the Droki tribe, we came across a warhammer from before Ishmael's redemption. When I picked it up, check
Yep.
rolling for history.
Well, technically we original.
That
But-
too.
This is a good guy to ask. Yeah, he knows about it. That's a 26.
Yeah.
He just nods along.
When I picked it up, Ishmael himself told me that it needs to be destroyed.
I see. Well, I can ask some of the elders of my area. Maybe work something out, but it might take some days, if not longer. They're quite busy individuals.
I think that we'll be in town. for
We'll
some
be
time.
in town for some time.
Okay. I can trade the favor that you were asking for before for this one.
Is that alright with everybody else?
I don't remember what favor we were asking for before.
I don't remember.
Do you guys want to remember? Okay.
Yes.
Wasn't it Darwin stuff?
Darwin.
Oh, Darwin's dog.
The only other time someone has heard of another undead coming by was the father of Bandwidth, who wrote it in a journal entry.
Ah, yeah.
And you traded this job for this favor. Mammon is the devil of deals. You'll get all you are worth and all you've traded for it. And he has basically said, all right, I can trade you this favor instead of this one.
This is too important. Darwin is too important to you that you find this. I can find it before.
Are you sure?
I'm sure.
I'll tell you, there's a lot more people that can do what you're asking than people that have information for yours. I think you're making the right choice. So, rock came down and affected my people. Any signs of cults of any kind?
No, thankfully.
Of any kind.
Oh, did we see a hole?
Did we see a goal?
You guys found a dagger from a cult of Mephistopheles.
Oh, that hole.
We
You also found a
I
card.
didn't know that was a cult thing. I thought that was just
Yeah,
It's.
religion.
I'm just saying,
From a
you
TV
would
standpoint.
if things related to devil worshipping cults, anything like that. There are two things that would ping off this that would require. They might or might not be important. You don't truly know, but the tarot card and that dagger, both would count as cult-related activity.
Right.
Oh, okay.
They're not necessarily a cult, but they're a cult.
Yeah.
we relay that information then.
We took the tarot card, didn't we?
No, you left it like that.
I think we
Mine.
left most of the stuff except for the net, which we
Paid for.
bought.
You overpaid for it. Yeah.
Yeah. So there was a dagger of Mephistopheles.
Mephistopheles.
That one of the folk over in the town there had.
It was just in a house.
Yeah, it was.
It was a little bit hidden behind a secret panel, but not too.
It was just on top of a bookshelf.
What was it made of?
That was the one that was
obsidian?
like
No,
this,
obsidian.
you stab people, and if they're the person, then it doesn't hurt them, right?
It had the same
Similar to that?
symbol,
Okay.
but you didn't really test it, nor
Yeah.
could you prove it if you did
Right.
test it.
It's because none of us wouldn't get stabbed.
One of us has a secret
You
that we
don't
haven't
know
told
that.
the others.
But yes, it had the same symbol.
Okay.
You can infer kind of the similar thing,
We
if
can
not.
guess that it might do that.
Yeah,
You can only
if
say
not
it had that symbol because
But it was an obsidian dagger that, when it cast a shadow, the shadows were multicolored.
Ooh, nifty. Neat. I want 7.
All right, I'll look into that. Anything else?
tarot card.
Weird card, yeah.
Picture on it?
What was
Painted. It was a fancily dressed skeleton, or an elegantly dressed skeleton.
A tarot card with a fancily dressed skeleton on it.
I'm not fancy dress.
He's wearing bug armor.
I will take a look at that. That might have been a deal. Nothing against those, as long as they don't go too far. But that one I will look in. The other one might just be a heirloom. So,
The house that the card was in was pretty,
Landshark?
Abandoned.
yeah, abandoned.
It wasn't abandoned.
Oh, was
It
it?
was run
was
down.
very run down.
Rundown.
We do know who the dagger belonged to. It was
We know which house it was in, yeah.
yeah. So we know the houses it was in, and then you specifically saw the lady look a
Right,
bit.
we can identify the person, but we never got a name.
Right.
Mm-hmm. That's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
If you want to give him that location, like this house and this house,
Mhm.
you basically know the names and numbers.
Okay.
But you
Yeah.
can choose to give him that if you want to. You've given what he's asked for.
Mhm.
So. Alright. I'll look into those two things. Hopefully, they don't sound like anything major. And as long as the deal doesn't affect anybody else or hurt anyone else, those are still allowed. Privately, at least. Thank you for that. And thank you for taking care of this. It's a great weight off my mind. Now, if you have nothing else to share, I believe I owe you something.
Indeed.
Yeah.
He gets up. Behind him is a big window and it wraps around for about half the room, but after it stops, it's all bookcase. He goes over to the bookcase, and some of them have glass panels. He opens one and pulls a small journal from one, and you can see there's a row of journals. So this is one of many. you can tell that the guy journaled a lot, kept record of his notes. He closes it and comes back to his desk, and you can see there's a bookmark in it. And he's like, I had already found the passage while you were out. There's not a lot here, but it should give you something. And he opens up. This was written by my father some decades ago. He does give you an exact date, but fundamentally it's decades ago. Give or take 22 years, I would say. Stranger was brought to my back door one rainy evening by some concerned citizens after finding the body in the nearby alley. Knife slashes could be seen across the clothing, and the body was completely limp. I didn't think there was much hope for the person based on this wounds, but I had them bring him in. We laid them on the long table in one of the rooms. There, I began removing some of the clothing and noticed the body was more like a stuffed scarecrow. Had wads of cloth all stuffed into the sleeves and pants, and below it all, bones. Looked to be a robbed skeleton. Head was covered in ragged bandages, and as I unlocked them, I was face to face with a skull. Looked rather old, and it was probably some prank by some local kids. I set it to the side. I was thinking that someone played a pretty morbid and distasteful prank. I set the citizens on their way, and decided to deal with this in the morning. In the meantime, though, I did go and I was going to separate the skeleton from the rags. As I was doing so and got about halfway through, the skull awoke. While working, suddenly sprang back to life and began frantically calling out for the people who attacked it. Apparently it was in some kind of fight. We got to talking. Interesting fellow, this skeleton. Turns out he recently woke up. And he has some memories, but more so he has a purpose of some kind. He gave his name as Hendrik Carlisle. Henrik. Henrik. Henrik.
Right, Kate.
Yep. He said he was from a time before ours. About, from what I can see, maybe 800 years. Though he doesn't remember the exact date. What he does remember is being killed by an entity of some kind. According to him, it was a previous emperor of the empire that nobody knows about. But, regardless, that's not who woke him. That's just apparently who killed him. And when his soul, floating out in the great ether, was about... when his soul was resting, and he gives a plane of existence that matches one of the human gods. I believe that's Elysium. Let me double check. My notes just say plane, and... Yes, humans go to Elysium. He mentioned he's been hanging out in Elysium this time since he died. At least most of him. And then one day he was approached by an angel and said his soul was not yet quite done. He's not sure of the whole details of it, but someone had exchanged something for his soul and a couple others. Actually, quite a few others, from the sounds of it. And they were shoved back into their mortal coils where their bones laid. He remembers quite a bit from what he's told me, but seems pretty closed off in telling details. But whoever traded for his souls and the rest of them had a plan to stop something down south. And that's where this man was heading. Well, skeleton, I should say. Very far south. Like past the desert.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
The southest south.
Mm-hmm. At the edge of the continent, apparently lies a wasted domain. There can be found his target. He's to there and wait for the rest of those risen with him to come back. And that's all he really told me. I bid him on his way the next morning, with new suit clothes, some supplies, a good sword at his side. He seemed quite talented, and so I expect he's probably going to make good time. I wish him the best on his journey. But he asked me to keep this and his existence and condition secret, and I can understand that. And I traded him a copper piece for the deal. May. Then he just says like a general greeting, like, may the gods watch over him. And Bandler closes the book and puts it down. Fundamentally, 22 years ago, somebody like your friend here stopped by our doors. He had gotten mugged in the streets and knocked out somehow. While tending to him, he woke up by my father. Apparently, he was on a mission, and somebody had acquired his soul from where he rests in the realm of Elysium. But they acquired his soul and several others. They were given a mission and then sent back to their mortal coils in whatever form they were left at. In his case, a skeleton, and I assume most of them probably are. So, I believe you mentioned you're very old.
Yeah, I'm a bit older than that.
He was not as old, and he was one of the oldest, apparently.
I also don't remember anything about a mission or Elysium or...
I have some thoughts about that. This happens sometimes with lemons. We don't get the full soul when it comes down. We get the worst parts of it. It can be split in transition and exist in two planes at one time. Eventually, those parts will become whole and a full new entity, especially in the hells. But, and it is rare, it's usually we get the whole thing, but parts of the individual is held in individual parts of the soul. You might not have had enough of you left to remember all that. You might have been thrown in as partial. The whole you, or whatever you was purchased, might not exist anymore. Because souls will slowly degrade and spread out among the stars. If you're truly as old as you are, it's a surprise you lasted as long as you did. Something must have been holding you together. But he got you and put you back. There just wasn't probably enough there to hold on to anything. Probably why it took you a long time to wake up, too. But if what my father says is true, there should be a gathering of individuals like you, all raised at the same time. At the bottom of the continent and the wasted lands.
The map we have doesn't even go that far, does it?
Nope.
It does not.
Right? Well, that's a lot to drop on a skeleton like me.
Gravel soul.
But I do
puppies.
appreciate it. Thank you.
Gravel.
And I
babies.
reach into my coin pouch and I'm like, may I offer to buy your silence for keeping the secret? And I pull out a copper.
Certainly. He puts it in his pocket.
Much appreciated.
There's the smartest of us all.
Whatever the mission was, it was good enough, or at least the individual was convincing enough to have my father not pry it out of him. Which means either it was incredibly important or the man was very skilled, or both. My father was a very curious fellow and a practitioner of medicine, as well as a king's rep. Anyway, that group down there, good As far as I know, I don't think you die naturally, per se. They could still be down there. It's a long journey, but if you want to find more answers about why you exist, I think
Seems
that's
like
your
a good
biggest
place
test.
to Start, yeah. Hmm.
No, I'm just imagining the waypoints on our map.
If we keep going down, we'll end up back at the north.
Well, you're assuming this is around Earth.
It is around Earth.
Okay.
This is Alex saying.
Cute.
This is me saying this. Gunmar's like, fuck, we have to go all the way back.
It's like donut.
Of course it's around Earth, and if we go too far, we'll fall off the side.
Spherical. It's a spherical Earth.
Spherical.
Technically an elliptoid, but okay.
But I also wasn't killed by Ty, I don't think.
Shot. How did you die?
I take off my mask and I show the side of my head. I got shot with an arrow. I think it was a trap. Kind of happened quickly, so I don't remember it. Most of my brains were on the ground at the time.
Think hard. And
I'm not sure that'll do much thinking, but
what I'm getting at is traps are laid someplace. They're intentional. And they're laid by somebody. Or at least by somebody's orders. Do you remember where you were when it happened?
well, I remember something happened in my family. Something changed, and I went off and became an adventurer. That was my first or second quest. We went in somewhere. I can't quite remember where. Can I try to remember?
Yeah.
Just a baby adventure.
You get a single roll because this is your own history.
Yeah.
But you do get to use history.
That is a 21.
Cool. Anything you want to do to make it better or worse?
Here are thieves.
Anything you want to do to make it worse?
I mean,
I'd like to roll again.
At disadvantage.
there are some people at the table.
Is that a skill?
Sure. Yeah.
I'll make it worse.
I'll do this. Plus 1d8 after making a skill check.
Yep, okay. Anything to make you use those cards.
That is a 24.
Okay. You think hard. And now with some seeds brought on by this memory, you think back. And you remember a few things. It was your first mission. But you were experienced before then. You were a soldier. No. A spy. You were sent somewhere. This was your first tasks. Somebody had told you something very important. And you had lost something very important. And this mission conquered both of those. And you traveled, and you remember traveling for a very long time. It took a long time to get there. And once you were there, you remember a mountain and a keep. And you remember getting in. And you remember getting deep into it. And then you remember stepping on a plate. And then you remember an arrow hitting your head. And then you remember fading as you bled out on the ground.
Yes, I do remember a little bit, and I share that with the group.
They might be going to where you went that first time. It's a long way to the end of the world.
Yeah, I think we have some things to do before that, but I don't mind giving it another shot. Can't go worse than the first time.
Going.
Arguably,
It can
this
100%
universe can.
It 100% can.
But we'll be there to pick you back up afterwards.
Puzzle piece you back together.
All
Right.
over the traps.
We'll pick up some spare skulls on the way.
I don't think it works like that. The skull's the important one. All the other ones are negotiable.
Bonnie just wants to collect skulls.
Oh, that's fine then.
Skulls.
When I die, you can have my skull if you want.
Why in front of the king's wreck?
You started!
I'll give you another copper to buy
I
yourself.
forgot you were there. I had a moment there.
It's okay.
Senior moment.
Can I pay you another copper to forget that?
Inspiration.
Oh yeah, inspiration.
For Alex and Evan.
Mega inspiration for Alex.
You have to roll disadvantage on the next roll you make.
Sure. I get to choose my next
Yeah.
roll.
Haven't guesstimated what time it is outside.
See what time it is.
Disadvantage.
I know, yeah. You got a 5. 5 and a 19. But it's history, and he's got a high of that, so that's a 17. So he knows it's noon.
Amazing.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
You did it, bud.
That was a very good impression of a dog. You just had some peanut butter.
Future us, you will receive no context.
They never do.
I hope that gave you something to go off of. Nothing
That-
else a destination.
It was very helpful. I do appreciate it. Thank you.
Hope you can find answers to it. And hopefully you can find out more if they still are around.
I do too. I just have one more question.
Please, this is the time to answer them.
Who the fuck made me a spy?
Yeah, who are you a spy for?
Why were you a spy?
Do you remember... What year do you remember last time you left?
I imagine like
4.
yeah, something like that.
It was along those lines. It was
If we even
very early in the Empire.
was there like a huge movement that this emperor's in charge? This is 0.
That
Like at the time, or was that later?
That was later. They retro did it about 30 years after the first Emperor, which you do just know off the top of your head now. But you can give the old calendar date.
I
And
do that.
that narrows it down to about 30 years. And so that gives you 2 choices. You either spy, if you're from the Empire as truly the Empire, either Edwin himself, the first Emperor, or his son.
Whose name is?
Aldrich.
Aldrich.
Does he know that? Oh, that's not supposed to be an advantage. He does not. Okay. You got a good chance of it, too.
Oh yeah, along with people don't remember Ty being in the picture. Aldrich's name was actually Fergus.
Was it now? That makes sense. I knew Aldrich was a title, but his name had been lost to most people, including myself. He was good enough to know that. Aldrich is a title. So, one of 2 choices, Edwin or Fergus. And I'm a bit of a history buff myself, and I let you know that Edwin wasn't the one for spies.
A little bit more strong-handed he was.
He liked his cavalry charges.
Everyone likes a good horsey now and again.
Cavalry.
Charges.
Every time I think of cavalry, I think of Skorg.
I want to be in the cavalry.
Love that song.
Yeah, that's a
Are you
good
in the music Discord?
Nope. Well, I haven't muted.
I sometimes
Fair.
send D&D songs there.
Nice.
I wasn't aware that there was
Fun fact. Darwin just got his 3rd page.
It's not.
Yeah.
One.
Going places.
In 2nd place is Tanner. And the Heartfire Wars.
Who has the least?
Gunmar, because I have none.
Gunmar has none because, like,
I don't know. Gunmar had some shit.
Gunmar had some shit, but a lot of it came to light before I started
Doing
all this.
So it didn't get written down.
Damn.
It's okay.
He
When we
reminds
hit
you
the
about
desert,
it all the time.
You'll
Oh yeah,
get your
when you
own
hit the desert, when you hit the desert, that's when your pages are gonna explode.
The real question is, how many pages of each person are you going to get before you need a new notebook?
Because I am going back to front, and I did reach
You're
the
running
midway
out.
point. I am
Yep.
very clearly running out of pages.
Does that? Well, did you make a fucking thing for Roger?
Well, you got to
Roger
keep
might
track
have
of
the
his
least
bets.
then.
Honestly, yeah, Roger's got some lore.
170 gold in the
4
space
lines
rock
of-
kerfuffle.
4 lines of lore. So Roger has the least.
You know, we need to work on that. Get that moose lore.
You can talk to him about the rock. 'Cause
Bex.
canonically, he always wins the bet. If none of you guys do.
Yeah.
I thought you meant like the bird rock for a second. I was like, we're not anywhere near this yet.
You could ask about things about the hells. He's a nightmare.
Oh yeah, you could ask about how to feed your horse properly.
The souls of the damned.
It's no longer a
How
nightmare.
damned do
he's
they
a-
have to be?
Mildly damned.
Ah.
The
say-
souls of the sainted. Which is arguably way worse.
That's
Not
so
a
much harder to
nightmare
get.
anymore. He's a
Yeah.
Yeah,
Waddle,
that's why
basically.
it's the
He also doesn't
souls of the
eat
sainted.
anymore.
Doesn't eat souls of the damned. It eats good people.
But what snacks does he want for the
I
trip?
feel like the nightmare would like to eat the souls of like
Nope.
blessed.
Souls of the damned.
Now I know where he's going from, and it still feels weird.
Wait,
Souls of the best
are
are
we
like a
gonna
more
hook up
sweet
your
flavor.
horse
Souls of the
and
damned
the
are more
moose
spicy.
to the cart?
So, Bandwidth is here, and
I have to look stuff up.
I think you have much to ruminate on.
That's for sure.
I don't have any other deals that are good enough, unfortunately, to offer a favor such as speaking with an elder. But given your group's proclivity and speed, I'm sure you come across a incredibly powerful cleric sooner rather than later.
Hopefully.
Remember, they do exist. You can always use the hierarchies of the temples. But there are many clerics in this world that follow gods but don't go to the churches. And some can get very powerful due to their practical uses and ambition.
Question. The old man that greeted me when I first woke up, was that just an avatar of Ishmael, or was that like a completely different person?
Oh, you have no idea.
Because I met Ishmael in like that freezer bit when we were in cold storage.
Yes, that was not the old man. The old man who was there when you woke up, as far as you know, is an old man. The big thing about him is he carries a boulder on his back.
We were way out of the way for that guy.
Meaningful graffiti on the pier.
On a side note, it's technically closer than a lot of your other destinations. Because it's just outside Richmond.
Yeah, but we
true.
have to backtrack.
Listen, I'm telling you guys, once I get the ability to teleport, it's gonna be fantastic.
We have so many places to go.
It's canon. Sparky doesn't know about mishaps.
Okay.
We get teleportation circle first. That one doesn't miss out.
That's true.
Then you have to find circles.
No, we're just gonna downpack for a year.
Get two
Whenever
for
we
free.
need
I
to
had,
do
I had forgotten about the holding a boulder on his back.
Yeah, it's not too big. It's definitely, like, it's a big rock. But, okay, boulder might be exaggeration.
It's
Like,
not just a boulder. It's a
it's about the size of his torso, strapped to his back with rope.
That constitutes as a boulder.
Yeah, this is not like Samurai Jack with like the super sized boulder and stuff like that. More like the turtle shell from Dragon Ball Z.
I'm getting like Dark Souls 3 Pilgrim.
I'm gonna need to ask
It's a smooth boulder.
who did the graffiti on that on the Ishmael temple. Anyway, Gilmore's like talking to him. Like,
Lost
whispering
in
to
thought.
himself while lost in it.
Is there anything else I can help you all with while you're in town?
I don't know. We were thinking of having a few magical items commissioned if you just knew like a general direction.
And if possible, if you know someone subtle.
Oh,
I have something that helps me with my condition. I take out the.
okay. I will trade you this information.
I can pay for the information if you'd like.
This is legitimate information and quite good. I will sell it to you for, as I do owe you, 100 gold. No, he said he was going to.
Yeah. I'll split it with you because I'm also using it.
Deal. I hand over 50.
He takes both little bags and puts them to the side, and we'll donate that through the Children's Fund. Now, the first one you want to go to is all the artificers in the city, at least the best ones on the Tiefling side here. You'll want to go to the Jeweler's Street for that one. There's a man I know. Older fellow. He operates under the Gen's eyes, and he mostly makes glasses. His name is,
Mortos.
no.
The Antes Mortos.
Guys.
Sorry.
Let's do, Corlente.
C.
With a C.
Oh.
I have no idea how it's spelled.
R. Okay.
Was that
Lente.
was that Cora Lente?
Corlente.
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 Just spell it phonetically.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. We'll spell the Spanish name phonetically. It's never gone wrong before.
Actually, a lot of Spanish is spelled phonetically. So, if you go see him, he's an artificer in his own right, though he doesn't take many commissions. If you mention my name, he'll take yours. But he only does very specific work. If you have more general stuff that you would like commissioned, go to the Artifice Street. I give you permission to invoke my name. That should always put you at the top of the line.
Thank you.
But any of the artificers there will be able to do just about anything sans legendary. For that, you might need to go to a master worker. I know some of those are in Stilburn, and a number of them are in the capital.
Thank you very much for the information.
Welcome. We have many talented hands, and if you got paid well, I welcome you to spend it here.
That sans legendary. We can get very rare things commissioned, guys.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very rare is very expensive.
We
I
can
know.
afford it.
We can afford one.
For everyone.
Maybe two, depending on how good your rolls are.
Oh yeah. Oh god, there's rolling involved. I will not touch dice.
I forgot what I was gonna say. It's fine.
Oh, cool. But yeah, Corlente, he'll personally take care of that.
Right?
For a fee, of course, but he'll be more intrigued into it, but he's known to keep his silence.
Can I flip him a copper? Please leave our name out of the pyramid thing.
I wrote our name on it.
It's going to rain.
Shit.
You wrote it in chalk, you know.
With
it
that
did- it
information,
rained.
I will take care of this. It will probably be good to land over that clock tower was a kind of the feature of the city.
Well, now they have a new one.
A giant pyramid, like
Yeah,
1,000 feet
so
away.
fucking ridiculous.
I think we can make it work, especially now that it's been solved. And thank you for not leaving it with its inhabitant.
Yeah, it gave us Mummy Rot again. I say us, it gave them Mummy Rot again.
Don't always remember why every time we fight a mummy.
I swear. if
I
we
would
get-
avoid fighting mummies.
It's harder than you think.
This one literally appeared out of the ground.
We put it there.
I do remember you saying you summoned it.
I'm not wrong.
Please don't plant any of those inside my city.
Oh no,
Certainly,
We
of course
won't.
not.
especially now that we know what they do.
They summon pyramids.
And probably other things. If you want on Artificial Zero, you can get things identified too. I hear the price is quite affordable.
I like
Put
the
it
not
underwater.
knowing.
Hmm?
I like the mystery.
With that, I think you have places to be.
Yes.
Try to get some lunch in the district before you head out. Spread some of that gold around. And should you need anything, if it's within my power, I'll see what I can do.
Alright.
And not every deal is going to cost a copper. And he just twirls it between his fingers.
I was kind of doing it for the bit at that point. But no, I understand.
And he puts it in his pocket. The coppers he's made deal with, you know, he's putting in a pocket.
Yeah.
The 50 gold you both gave him, we just put to the side. Like that.
Puts it in his pocket. It's a
That's
pocket
for
of
children.
holding.
Yeah, that he doesn't give a shit about. Like that's gonna go to the Wilden and Children's Fund.
Out of curiosity, and not going to do this, how much would it cost, monetary-wise, to get an audience with an elder?
For the favor.
Yeah.
It was to destroy a magical item or to get information about it. Are you certain they can destroy it?
They said give clues on how to destroy it, yeah?
Fundamentally, you need someone you can cast legend lore, but it has to be a cleric. So it would give information.
Just give information.
That's probably easier to do. I could probably arrange for something, service such as that, for about 10,000 gold. And that would include the casting itself.
We're about to go shopping.
This is Photoshop.
This is.
Fair. I'm just reminding you.
I would have 1,543 left.
Which is more than most people see in their lifetime. Or farmers, at least.
I would sit on it. You're about to go to the Silent Lady. You might be able to trade something for them.
Alright. Thank you.
Welcome. But I'll say my offer stands.
Much obliged.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Till we meet again.
Have a good one.
And we leave.
Yes.
We actually
I
leave
think
this
we
time.
How much party funds do we have?
It's a weird way for him to say bye. this
Yes.
gentleman.
Oh, he would wave by. He's very friendly.
He wouldn't go, bye.
Well, he would go. Have a good evening. May the gods watch over all of you.
We have 20,000 party points.
That's it?
You haven't added.
I haven't added any of the.
I gave you 114,000.
I never added anything to party funds.
God, fucking.
Yeah, there was no way you had 20,000.
Yeah, no, we
Little do we know, Sparky has a gambling
Can,
addiction.
can someone dig up that post that Alex sent?
Oh,
Yeah.
that's how it happened. Every time I open my
I
notebook,
have
it
the raw numbers I just wrote down.
Hang on. I'm just going to scroll
He
up
had them
to
split
it.
up between party funds.
While
and-
this is
Okay.
happening,
Individual.
question for Alex.
Yes.
It says that I can summon the thingy and then it will.
Oh, I meant to fuck with that. Yes, go ahead.
It can carry allies up to 8 hours. Does it like hang around after that, or does it?
Yes,
achieve-
it hangs around for 24 hours, and then after which you can say, you
Double
basically say,
dose.
do you want to keep it around, or do you want to have it just desummon? And then allows you to summon it again later that day.
Okay. So it's
I'm
it's
doubling the
not.
party.
20,850.
Yeah, so I need.
It's
No,
not
I've
2 days
changed.
anymore?
No,
Okay.
that's
I'm gonna double
unfortunately
check
that thing is
with
very
Alex.
old.
Double these numbers, yes?
All good.
The not
Yes.
the top one, the party one.
Every
Because-
single one
because
of
you
those
split
numbers.
it in half.
So this was half of the total. This was
Yeah, so the party would have before the doubling would have been 28,850.
yes.
Yep.
Doubling that takes us to 57,700. Yeah.
No,
he has not
57,000.
doubled anything yet.
Yeah, the 57,000 was not doubled. That needs to be doubled. The numbers under that was split up.
What I'm saying is it's the same fucking difference.
So, yes.
If you double the half number, it gives you the double.
Yes.
Yeah, so 2 of this number Each of us got 2 of this number. The money is worth 2 of that.
What I'm saying is half of the total is 57,700 because it got doubled.
Yes.
Half of it goes to the party, half of it goes to the members.
Yes. So, yeah, you're right. The 57,000 would go to party funds.
Yes.
Plus,
so we have,
but the gems got doubled too, so you have to add the gems as well.
Okay.
You gave me the card.
Gosh dang it.
I had this
You, Evan.
mathed out.
Evan.
You're welcome.
The
This just makes me happier.
okay. So I will tell you numbers. You
Is
write
it
them down.
Artifice Street or Artifice Row?
I wish I could write
It's
these
the
down.
district. I haven't named the road.
Got
I'll
it.
say he'll tell you to like go west.
Just say when. I will tell you numbers. I have numbers.
No, don't.
Give me a
Yeah,
mechanical
west.
pencil.
Do I have
That's
to?
out of lead. You don't have to.
You're right.
There's a lot of stuff happening. I'm
Another
just gonna wait.
Did you see Frederick?
What?
Okay.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Is that what your thing looks like?
Are you ready?
No.
For
No, that's a bug I want Darwin to get.
That's a bug.
It's a horned cricket that is native to the desert.
Okay, so it's 57.
20 0.
Yeah, 57,700
I hit
gold,
one of the 20s and changed it.
and that's the coin that we got.
Yep.
The gems that we got are worth a total of 34,000.
Jesus Christ. Okay.
Oh, do gems go straight to party funds, or do you split apart those?
I
I was gonna put them in party funds.
Okay,
I
yeah,
think we
then that's
usually
correct.
put it
Then
in
that is
party
correct.
funds.
So don't, yeah.
And then
So what was that number again?
34,000. So in total, we got about 90k.
Okay. Add those two numbers up for me real quick.
91,700
Plus 20,000.
plus whatever you currently have over there, because I don't know what the party funds is right now.
That's a lot of money.
Here, tell me what the current party funds is.
Current party funds. 20,343.
All right, and so plus
This
the
is what I live for when I'm on this side
new
of the
party
street.
funds plus gem party funds. We have 112,043 gold in party funds. Everyone had their direct money sorted out last session,
Yeah.
I believe, because everyone got like
We should have.
you should have. You got like 8k.
Yes.
Do you have numbers?
Yes,
Numbers
I have
good.
numbers.
Numbers happy. Okay,
Party funds is currently at 112,000.
and that includes all the gems.
Yep. So I'm not going to bother listing those. Side note, I still have gyms listed that I haven't added to the party funds. So that's something that's a cash flow to look forward to. that's my backup. My emergency.
We're out. We're completely broke. I just have this bag of gems. Dump that out like that's 30k.
That's the most adventure thing that we could do.
Just like I have nothing except for these 7 pounds of rubies. Like cut rubies.
Like that.
No, I'm good.
SpongeBob.
That has to say
Yes.
as if Patrick going great. Now I'm gonna starve.
We did it, guys. We've done math.
We have plenty of money to commission a couple things.
We just start commissioning all legendary items.
No, very rare is like 50,000, aren't they?
Math shouldn't
Give or take. You should see my spreadsheet. I've made 2 for the Tuesday campaign because of how much gold we had.
I think I actually have them.
Oh, shush, weird. You print out my spreadsheet.
No, you printed it out. I gave you one.
Evan just collected them from the table.
Oh, I did print it out once. Yeah. Is that the first one? That's
I
probably
think that's the first one.
That's definitely the first one.
Yeah.
Also, the entirety of your spreadsheet is like one line item now in Discord because I don't keep track of anything. I'm like, this is our total.
Yeah. There was a second sheet that was a time scale because you have to wait for weeks and stuff for that.
Oh.
We need to pick up that wand of Fireball.
You do.
Yeah.
What does it do?
It
It
doesn't
doesn't
require
require
attunement.
attunement.
Oh, wand fire was required too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Blaze has been attuned to a wand of Fireball for levels.
Why is the insignia clause +3 so cheap?
Because they rolled really well.
I think we
We-
would consistently rolling like 40s.
Well, 'cause
Yeah.
you were the one rolling.
Yeah, no, they
We were a party Charisma casters.
Yeah.
yeah.
Vith and Kith.
Yeah, we're. There are now no more charisma in the Tuesday.
The highest charisma is now Blaze.
I want
I have a
the,
plus one.
I want the better bracers of defense and then a non-attunement cloak of protection.
Yeah, I want a non-attunement.
I'll let you know that non-attunement cloak was a bulk purchase discount.
That's true. We bought 6 of
I
them.
didn't
5.
look at the price on that.
Oh, it's
5.
12,500.
I do want a
Each.
non-attune cloak of protection and a non-attune amulet of the drow.
Do you have a cloak of protection?
Yes,
Okay.
I have it on.
Gotcha.
It's currently attuned.
Well, I knew Squirk and I bought one. I just didn't remember if you also grabbed one somewhere.
I did.
Got a lot of
Cool.
cloaks.
Yeah.
But yeah, you guys can do math on items like that.
+4 to saves.
Just gotta hope get a good roll.
Okay, now that we're out of Bandwidth's house,
Yep, it's now noon.
so Darwin,
Yeah?
tell us more about your family. You said you mentioned something about them in there.
It. I'm still only remembering bits and pieces of it. I remember my mother was sick of something, and my dad, he taught me archery when I was young, but something happened, he was out of the picture too. After my mom died, I sent my sister. Oh, my sister. Oh. To live with family members outside of our direct family. And with all for my own, I guess I somehow managed to be a spy after that. Maybe it was because of the skills I picked up from my father. Because I am a pretty good archer, always have been. Remember, there was a lot more to my family, but it's just not coming to me right now. Not all of it.
Switching topics, like major. Tell me about Ty's family.
About Ty's family?
Yeah, he obviously had to have had a son at some point. Or no, sorry, I'm thinking of the other ones.
Aldrich.
Oh.
Okay. Fergus, yes.
Tell me about
I
the
think
line
I
of
may actually have
emperors.
like stuff written about
The
this.
Emperor's
Tell me
denied.
about Ty's baby mama.
It was you.
It was you, Darwin.
You, the
I
Emperor's baby
impregnated you
mama.
with Ty's baby so that you could.
I think it's
There's something really
it's
weird
gonna be the
happening.
document
I love that you started to regret that segment.
No, I was like, what would Ty do? What would he do this for that I can keep PG for the table?
Nothing.
Wow, here it is.
Why would you keep it PG?
Yeah, it's a pretty old one.
I marked that this isn't made for kids.
We literally talked about some guy having syphilis.
You don't know syphilis.
It could have been
I don't.
anything.
It could have been
He
anything.
had something on his dangling.
Yeah.
Wasn't
It may or
supposed
may
to
not
be
have
there.
been syphilis.
Yeah, because he didn't practice safe intercourse. Something that we all should.
I went to school.
Why do you specifically look at the one person that can't?
No,
Because he might be. What?
I thought you were looking at the mic.
I thought she
Mic-
was looking at the microphone, and
I
that
was-
felt like she was looking at the microphone.
No, I was looking at Darwin. I was looking
Yeah,
at
I was like, was it Darwin?
All I'm saying is he could be Bones because he didn't get it taken care of, okay?
I think he's Bones because he took an
That's-
arrow to the head.
That was somehow called STD.
We don't know what came first. We weren't there.
Well, we know what came last.
Whoever Darwin was with.
Some state.
He really got fucked by that arrow.
Okay.
This is we need to get away from this topic.
Well, we're filling time because Evan's reading.
Hey, while we're filling time, so other things we wanted to do: Silent Ladies Temple,
Yes.
Yeah.
shopping. We can check on if your boots are in yet or not.
They probably are.
They might be.
By the time we're done shopping, they should be.
And then there was talk of the underwater city. They might have
Out of
nifty things to
character.
buy there.
Out of character. I would love to go see the Water City.
How do we convince Sparky to go?
Nifty things.
Nifty things.
There might be underwater kobolds.
You bought the underwater candle!
We'll see.
You overpaid for the
Dramatically
If the
overpaid.
kobolds in your city were underground, who's to say the kobolds in this city aren't underwater?
I don't like
Hundreds.
that.
Hundreds of thousands of pounds of water.
I mean,
Hundreds
fix
of thousands of pounds of dirt.
And if water seeps in, dirt you can kind of prop up. Anyway, did I
there's
actually give
just
you
a
an
little
answer?
bit
Yes.
of air.
Oh shit. Okay.
If you want,
At the very least, I know his firstborn daughter's name because she took the throne after he died. It is Esmeralda Eldridge.
That's good because I did not remember that.
That was from
This
like
is why I like shit.
7 months ago.
God would also like to know.
Esmeralda.
Yeah, Esmeralda, third empress of the empire.
Nice.
Oh, also the firstborn, but it's not a standard tradition.
Me. Whoever is worthy.
if you want to wait till tomorrow, I can give you a personal air bubble for 24 full hours.
We'll get to that. Maybe.
Don't let me know tonight so I can make sure I'm ready.
Well, and that one lady whose name is something.
Elizabeth Shorewave.
Yeah, she offered to do something so we could breathe underwater.
I can also turn into a dolphin you can ride.
I appreciate that. We're talking about Darwin right now.
Is it a problem for future, Sparky?
No, that was all I had to say. We can go back to that.
Well,
now.
no, because I had more to say.
We have pages
Just
to
keep
fill.
more. Just keep.
Do we want to grab lunch while we talk?
Yes, we'll do that.
Let's go for
Spark's already eating something from nowhere. Just
It's out of
You're-
nowhere. It's in your bag.
You're in the crossroads. There are street
Some of the
sellers here.
cleansed bread.
You just got some people eating outside and you just took bread from their table and kept walking.
took bread from the table, ate it in front of them. No one will ever believe you and leave. A giant bird stole and ate my.
a very nicely dressed bird.
And they were like, "You
Tattoos.
expect me to believe that?" And then they point to you. He's literally right over.
He's still eating the bread.
Flops away.
Can't too much bread.
The reason I asked those questions
Yeah.
is because I've had this theory, and there's been no weight to it thus far. But I thought there was some weight to it. That maybe you are in the line. Like, you could possibly be. Because you don't fully remember who you are. You could have been an Eldritch.
Perhaps a bastard mine.
It's a bit
I'm
rude,
not sure.
but true.
That's the actual term for it, you asshole.
No, if he had it out of wedlock with an adulteress, what he's going after is he could be an actual son.
Yeah.
If they forgot the name, they might forget the other children of the first emperor.
Right, exactly. That's what I'm getting at.
I don't think so. I'm not sure, really. Can I roll to see if I would in any way know this?
Yeah. Go ahead and roll. Oh, this is technically a history check. You get advantage on these.
I thought it was because it's Darwin.
Mm.
Or does
Like-
this technically count
No,
as
this
Empire lore?
This
If you're
this
trying to
does
check
technically
for
involve
forgotten
you're checking
children.
your history. So yeah, just a straight roll.
Okay.
You could be checking to see if I could get a firstborn that died in battle.
Forgotten children.
Those are two separate questions, though.
They
We're
are
going to
two
ask the
separate
question.
we're gonna go with this one's you. This
Okay.
is like, am I the son of one of the Eldridges?
19.
You have no idea.
All right.
You have vague memories of your mother and your father. You specifically remember your father teaching. But I will say, your memories don't have a lot of context. You can't really see their faces anymore. You remember the bodily motions. You remember the emotions and kind of the time of day. And you remember the physical movements. But, like, you probably couldn't pick your father out of a lineup if you gave, like, 10 portraits.
It's been a long time, and literally half my soul's gone, so.
More.
That brings me to my next question.
What if part of your soul is in one of the soul shards we have?
That
That's
thought
something I need to go through.
did cross my mind.
It's in the happy.
I think that it doesn't really
point.
matter one way or the other if it's part of the soul shards at this point. not sure there's any way to get it back.
Clearly,
Okay.
some people can do things with these.
Just keep touching them and see if any of them.
Bring
I
back
guess they ring
memories?
for you guys or something.
I can try to touch all the shards, but I feel like that's a long shot. Not only does your theory have to be right, they need to be in these specific rocks.
Yeah. We'll save that for when we get down though.
Alright.
Um,
I mean, I could just, like, tuck a few rocks into me while I sleep.
listen, however you want to do it, I'm just throwing the idea out there.
Just irradiate all the bugs.
Congratulations!
I love it.
Your bees have space kits.
They just get the hive mind thing like the rats.
You just become the Fallout Wasteland.
Well, that is true though. We could give it. We could give one to your queen and see if she resonates with it.
I'm going to not do that.
Aren't they already a hive mind?
Just we go the way of the goblins, just putting these things everywhere. Alright.
Thank you, oh great Darwin, who gives us food and shelter.
Praise be unto him.
I think we should get
It's one of the
lunch there.
bugs.
No!
You
Monster.
just eat it.
God, that was so
Double
small.
tap his ass.
Oh, well, I closed, and it has so much of a cavity that he was fine.
That was sign. That was God giving you a chance.
No,
Then
God
you-
said no.
No.
Fucking double tapped it.
God said die.
And then I had one more thing, not entirely Darwin related, more Tanner related.
Oh no.
Tong said we could shape these, yeah?
Tom said they could shape these. Sort of.
Well, they also said that other people were better at it.
Right. In
So-
the capital.
If we could learn how to shape them, we could shape them into things like daggers.
We could try. I have no idea how to start doing that.
Neither do I. It's an idea I had. I'm an ideas guy. I throw out the ideas and have other people figure out how to implement.
I will say some of these are big enough and sharp enough that if you want to use it,
You just stab somebody.
yeah, if you want to stab somebody with these, they're pretty.
Alright, let's see who's aligned to the soul shards by stabbing everyone.
I have mold earth. If we find someone who has mold soul, then it should be no problem.
Yes, it's a cantrip.
So a necromancer.
It's not a terrible idea.
Man, if you want to, I'll use a soul shard for a dagger if you want.
Stab! I wasn't planning to give all these up, most of them, but
Yeah.
I figured we should keep a few.
Absolutely.
Should we go through them and see if any resonate with any of us?
If we do that, we're gonna want to find a table and sit down and maybe not do it in the middle of the road.
I mean, I didn't think we would do it now.
We could do it later, maybe tonight.
Alright.
Everyone multi-classes.
Except for Beck.
No, it's okay. You can multi-class back into barbarian.
We find somewhere
I know
to
the
eat
lore,
lunch.
and I'm really trying to figure out how you do it.
I multi-class back into Concourse Paladin.
Oh no.
So anyway,
There's a Psy Fighter and a Psy
Vincrest 2,
Rogue.
Electric
There's probably a
Boogaloo.
Psy Monk.
Everyone deserves redemption, but sometimes.
Everybody deserves redemption. But
Everybody multi-classes
I'm
as
just
some
the
sort of
paladin,
psychic
so I don't
subclass.
have to.
so you guys eat your way through the city a little bit.
Woo! Woo!
There, like most cities, especially in the Tiefling district, there's food carts galore.
Amazing.
Probably the best items you come across are some nice glazed chicken on skewers. But there also is vegetable soup that you can get in tiny little cups, and very good. Of course, there's kind of sandwich. They're like paninis, so they have like different levels of different things and smushed down between two giant rocks that are hot. And so instead of getting the lines, they are kind of uniform, but they're a smash sandwich basically.
The old George
Do
Foreman.
I smell anything that smells similar to the spices that I had?
Give me a perception check. Because they do smell slightly different once cooked.
15.
Yes, you do. The spices you had were kind of like Among tiefling spices, probably the more common ones, if a little on the hotter end. And yes, you find some chicken that has been dry rubbed in it. And served on skewers.
Hello. How tall are tieflings?
Tieflings are human-sized.
Hello.
Though the horns
The horns
can
make them
add a
look
little
taller.
bit, but not by much.
It's fine. They're still be like taller than I am. I'm
Oh, yeah.
2 foot something.
Mhm.
Hello. Can I try some of your spices? Your spicy spices.
Would you like chicken or like just the
No,
spices?
just some spices, please.
Oh, sure. And he takes a little spoon that he's been using and dabs it on you. It's about half a teaspoon.
Is it the same?
It is the same.
I pull out my spice jar. Could you please fill this up with that?
And he picks it up, and it's actually kind of small for him. I'm just like, yeah, okay. If you're up for it, and just puts like a couple of teaspoons and a couple of things in, and it's like fills it up to the. He's got a big old thing of it, and just like, oh yeah, there you go.
He's got the Costco version.
Put up 5 platinum on the counter.
And leave before he can say anything.
Thank you.
I was like,
I was imagining like those barrels that have like the cones of spice just up on
Yeah.
top of them.
he just like he scoops it all in, and like immediately shoves it in his pocket. And, like he has the look of a person like I've never even seen a platinum, let alone 5.
It's like, holy shit, this is more than I make in a year.
It's fine. I got my infinite
No,
spice
he makes more
back.
than that, but like an average worker makes 3 gold a day.
In like 4
have-
days, I should be able to make platinum.
Oh, they just don't consolidate it.
Because there's no point. They spend it on their bills.
They don't have the
Fantasy bills.
feat we have where we can just change money out.
Fair.
That's the thing.
It's
They,
part
that,
of the adventurer's fee. It gives us adventurer sense. It lets us transition money.
It allows you to look at a gem and immediately know how much it's worth.
Exactly. It's a great feat.
Mhm.
It's is level 1. You get it when you transition from 0 to 1.
That cup is worth 2 copper.
I like the gem thing the most because it immediately makes everyone a jeweler. And it's like, I don't know how much this is worth at all. It's like, Dante, barbarian, comes over. How much is this worth? That's 250 gold. Thank you. Welcome. I
Customer's
can't
just
read.
like, I feel like I'm being swindled.
Except it would make it the fairest system because
Yeah.
so many people are just like, no, it's worth that much.
I do like the idea that like a child goes, "Mom, your ring's worth this much," and they're like, "You're an adventurer, Billy."
Billy, you're an adventurer.
Oh,
oh god, we're gonna die.
We have 2 options. You leave or we end up dying. Oh god, what's the class?
Sometimes-
Sorcerer!
Sometimes.
Oh, rogue. If it's rogue, you have 2 options. Either we die or you'll leave.
I mean, it doesn't have to be just rogue.
Asgore had very loving parents. It was gross.
The joke is that rogues are edgy.
Yes.
So,
Like wizards are fragile.
It's
Very true.
concerning that
you
the
guys,
mountain is
eat your way across. You do get your tiefling spices. And super overpaid for them. Yeah. But yeah, you guys can make your way to the Temple of the Silent Lady. There are maps around the city, especially you can also just ask people and there are signs. You run quite quickly. The Temple of the Silent Lady, the main temple, is the only temple that's outside the city. You passed not it, but a small temple. Most of these places are pretty consolidated. Like, you know, the temple's all in one spot. That's where the school is. That's everything. By the nature of the Silent Lady, who takes care of literally cemeteries. They're on the outskirts, and they have multiple buildings. There is the main one, though, and it's right up against the wall of the district. Theoretically, if you were in it, you could get through it without having to go out of the city, because they do have an entrance on the inside, but that's only 4 guild members, or actual clerics. And not just any cleric, like clerics of the Silent Lady. But yeah, you basically learned that like you just need to exit out the main door you came in and hang a left. And that'll get you there. Takes about 30 minutes. Big city. You make your way out there and fall on the outer wall. The outer wall of this city of Basin Town. Specifically, this is the part of Basin Town that is the religious district, and you're on the outside of that. This wall is built differently. Not by much, but you can definitely tell this one's a little newer. Has it's not as built for defense. It's nice, and it is like it definitely could defend a city. But like where the other one is like all we care about is defensive capability and having hiding points and strong walls to defend against siege weapons and such. This one has some also functionality, and you see people actually walking along it as well. But it does have a couple guards posted on it. But it's basically also a medicinal feature. You continue on, and you find a nice winding pathway that is over a bunch of willow trees that line up to the... as far as this city is concerned, a rather modest main temple. It's about 2 stories tall. It's done in white adobe, but has terracotta rounded barrel tiles, but they have white glazes on them. So it has black accents here and there, but it's mostly a white building. Yes.
I would like to keep an eye out for dogs.
Oh, sure. Yes.
Because we need to not lose Darwin.
So, going up this main pathway, there's a lot of people on it. You can tell that a lot of them are grave clerics, and probably members of the Silent Lady based on their visage. They look like, if you've ever seen a vicar, it is a British priest. They're known for their long black coats and stuff like that. They look like that. Some of them even have the wide-brimmed hat to help keep the sun off because they travel. There's a lot of young ones out there, but there's also plenty of older individuals that are probably brothers or sisters. When you get to the front of this door, of this building, it's very modest and very quiet, and you can see that there are random groups of individuals, all dressed in formal but somber wear. This is fundamentally an active funeral home. And so funerals or wakes of various kinds are currently taking place here. That's what this temple serves the community as. This is a world where institutions are combined with religious figures and stuff like that because gods are real. And so this is where you have funerals. And this is the main temple, so this is where like some of the higher ups will have their funerals. So it's decently busy, but oddly quiet. And somber and private. As you enter the building, it's high ceilinged, about 40 feet with arches, and it continues for quite a ways, and you can see there are multiple party groups at different areas, as many of these side rooms are funeral parlors, places where to display the blood. In the middle, very closely to the front door, maybe 30 feet away, is a round desk with 2 acolytes at it. Sorry, brothers and sisters at it. 1 brother, 1 sister. The place is well lit. It has black marble and black and white marble checkerboard floors. It's somber, but it also, you can see that like the people mourning are mourning, but they're not necessarily sad or something like that. This is a natural process, and this place helps with that, and it's the formal steps of such a process. There's a help desk though, right up front. Oh, I'm sorry, there's one big thing. Before you enter the building, all of you enter, and perfectly fine. When you enter, you come across an issue.
I'm not allowed.
I just need to look up what something happens first.
I just want to say I brought this up in a party meeting.
What's this town called?
You might have
Dixon
wanted.
Town.
You might have wanted to bring it up again 2
Probably.
minutes ago.
Yeah.
You had a long way to walk up to this, and the people are spaced out enough you could have a private conversation, especially if you whisper. But you're about to come up on a main temple.
You guys go on ahead. Darwin and I have a solo project we need to work on.
All right.
Are there people around or?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go, Darwin. All right.
You've got 5 hours, Tanner.
You skeleton. We've already had problems with the Grims.
Right? I was looking for dogs.
I just don't want to. I don't know if we were
I don't know
specifically
how we're
warned
supposed
about
to get
temples.
around that.
Darwin, how do you feel about bags of holding?
believe God
they're
has said
useful.
no.
I also linked to Darwin and Genmar. I don't think I can get more people yet. I will check, but I'm almost positive I cannot.
Out of character, I thought it was only like special back rooms I couldn't get into.
On certain smaller temples and stuff like that, this is a main temple.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a big boy.
There are a couple main temples. If you go to the temple of, say, Joaquin, it's mostly a business school and teaches like clerics and stuff like that.
Mm.
But there is the main temple. The main temple sanctuary.
Okay.
This is a little different because this is the only temple that's segmented. Like this is the main temple, and all the other parts of it go out.
Gage is looking for a horse, don't mind him.
Gotcha.
I'm gonna roll insight to see if I know what Sparky's doing.
Okay.
Oh,
I
go
find
ahead.
that more fun than I know what you're
I will
doing.
continue to herd the group towards the temple.
Shit. That's a 21.
You know exactly what he's doing.
5.
You saw the look on his eyes when he realized how big the temple was, and then he
Like, oh, I completely forgot. Yeah, there's
yeah the
Something that I need to do.
hunting.
very important. We'll be back.
I will say I did think about this. There are ways around this if you want to investigate a little.
Darwin and I are gonna start looking around the grounds because we're not gonna leave just the temple
All right.
because the rest of our party's here.
Both of you give me investigation checks. Not investigation, perception checks. Or investigation, whatever you want. Not whatever you want. One of those two.
I choose
History.
survival.
Intimidation.
Ooh, history, yeah.
Persuasion.
Fear.
Deception.
Anger. Lust.
I think Vanya might be edgier than
Chanel
you.
5.
Oh, we know who's
She does talk about
experiencing lust.
nuances
Yeah.
and like turning
That
the
sailor.
king into
Oh,
a tree.
Yeah. Why you turn to me? Why is everyone turning to me?
What'd you get?
Because you're a boner.
I thought we were
It
waiting.
continues not to be funny.
Darwin's gonna say this. Darwin's gonna say this one time. Darwin actually has 0 libido.
Yep.
He's a skeleton.
Solid.
Cool.
You may continue with the jokes if you would like, though.
What? I'm not there.
Oh. This was Evan.
Oh. Yeah, I'm gonna keep making the joke.
Okay, cool.
You can't stop me. Unless you don't want me to.
You can't stop me unless you
Stop
don't
me.
consent.
It's because consent
17.
is important.
17. Perception or investigation?
Perception.
Dirty 20.
Nice.
Perception or investigation?
Perception.
Okay, so you both see the same thing. You guys do kind of trail behind as you're trying to figure out like how to work this out. Above the door is an arch, and it does have an inscription on it. It is a small poem. It is in Celestial, but it does have a translation underneath in Common.
Okay.
By Our Lady's grace and her stance, say her name and be granted her. I should have wrote this down. Fuck me.
Favor?
You granted her pass.
Yes, be granted her pass. That'd be good.
I forgot about rhyming.
So you say her name is. You feel like it's a something, but it might be also more than that. It might be like how you say the name.
Can I roll to see if I understand what is going on about?
Yeah, be history. Go ahead.
Real quick. So the Silent Lady, is that the only title name she's known as?
She's known as the Silent Lady.
Okay, she doesn't have other names.
Like Rebecca.
Yeah, that's what I was getting at.
Nope.
Like,
No,
is there a secret hidden name that we need to know?
As far as you know, she has
Cool.
one name.
John.
John, the Silent Lady.
Wick?
4.
John Lady.
John
Parabellum.
Lady.
That was a. I don't know. I was looking for this.
I really like
this
that.
for a number. That is a 14.
Okay. I'll give you probably the first half of it of a 2-part thing. They're probably referring to the silent part. As in, literally the word silence.
Coordinated.
But you don't. I'll say a 14's high enough that you don't think that you say it in common to be able to pass.
I'm gonna run through your languages.
Ah,
Say your name in your head. Just over and over and over again. What? Oh yeah, you haven't been here. We're at the Temple of the Silent Lady. It's
Okay.
causing issues for Darwin.
Ah, is the dog still?
No.
nope, different
Um,
issues.
Can't enter the temple.
It's a really, really big, important temple.
I will say.
Darwin's undead.
Part of me wants to say it's not saying anything.
Lady. Just not silent lady, just lady.
I will say you rolled a 14. No, the answer is silent. The password is silence. It's just you have to say it in a certain way.
Silence in some language? Do you understand?
Silence in your head?
No, not in my head. Like out
Oh, by
loud.
the way, the
Out
being
loud
looked at is
They're
that there's
separated.
a
No, say the word silence in your head.
there's a poem over the archway.
Mhm.
It's in Celestial and then Common.
Okay.
You're with the rest of us. They separating, trying to figure out how to get Darwin inside.
Oh, okay.
Short distance, like 15
yeah,
feet
yeah,
away.
yeah. Like we can see them still.
We'll try it.
So what does it say? Does it just say like?
It's a poem that I made up on the spot, which isn't that good, but the answer to is silence.
Okay. Try whispering.
Whisper it and think.
I will do both. And I guess I enter. I try.
Maybe old
Cut up.
As you enter,
I whisper it. I
You
whisper it and think it.
whisper
Think and
this.
think and whisper.
Silence, 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 silence.
Oh no.
Oh no. uh, you take 30 points of radiant damage and are knocked out of the.
Yeah, let me put that down.
We regroup quickly.
Does anybody want to try to hide the
I'm
fact?
so
Yeah.
sorry, Darwin. I didn't mean to trip you.
What was that? Sparky!
Oh my God, are you
Let me
okay?
help you up.
Sorry, my tail just got in the way. I'm so sorry.
You need to watch that thing.
That's a
give
lethal
me
weapon, man.
either deception
So
or
mad at you, I need to go over
performance
there and
with
think about it
advantage.
for a little bit.
Here, I'll go with you.
What were my options?
You can do the performance or deception. Performance because you're in front of a crowd.
I'm gonna do performance just because it's more on brand.
You get advantage.
Yeah, people are helping.
Because the party is like, oh god!
As I pick you up, I cast Cure Wounds.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, but you
That
have-
blue
you have
one
to-
went
you
on
have to
a
have
journey.
I have to, yeah?
Check your item.
Oh yeah, you might be storing it on the item.
No, I do.
I totally do.
Should be in your inventory.
Thank you, Gage.
It's orange.
I'm glad you were here.
Yeah, there it is. Nope.
How?
Why do you not have inspiration?
How do we not give Sparky inspiration?
We keep forgetting to give him inspiration because of hydrophobia.
He doesn't.
But they've been doing most of the talking today.
Yeah.
In fairness, I also think Michael's the one who uses his the most.
11.
As you should.
Yeah.
What'd you get?
Oh, I actually had it on 11.
That is
Oh, perfect.
Of the
13.
work out.
Okay, so low, but not terrible.
Passable.
You guys
The
end up
commoners
like
might not notice.
a couple 15 feet away from the door, and you are slightly smoking. Um,
Brush it off.
and yeah, you quickly brush that off, and a lot of people are a little occupied, and they glance over, but they have bidding. But two acolytes do walk over. You can tell they're acolytes because they have markings on them that denote them as acolytes. Male and female, both human. Younger side, one's maybe 16, one's maybe a little bit older, but under 20. The older one is the female, and she comes up and goes, "Is everything all right?"
yeah. No, I tripped him.
Oh, so sorry to see that. Yeah, I know those steps can get a little tricky and slippery.
Yeah, and we
Yeah,
got
right.
extra limbs with the tail.
I was distracted by the poem.
Oh
out
yeah,
there. Does it mean anything, or is it just a?
Just sound
it's
cool.
supposedly it's the answer to it allows those marked to walk inside freely. We're taught it's mostly symbolism that the undead are just trying to return to move on themselves. But the answer is pretty obvious. Silence. What a lot of people don't know is you need to do it in Celestial.
Gotcha. Can I? Sorry, go ahead.
What is silence in Celestial?
Oh. It is so Cthulhu. So Cthulhu. Oh my god.
You use Cthulhu a lot.
Yeah, I was
No,
gonna
no,
say
it's-
you just summoned the
No.
instant fortress
Sorry.
from our campaign.
I wrote this down and then I wrote the phonetic to try to help me out. I'm using Persian, which is Arabic, for Celestial. So Cthulhu. Oh my god. It's in
Here, Evan.
parentheses.
So, Kahoot.
So Kahoot.
Kahoot.
You gotta bring it forward, like so Kahoot.
Kahoot.
Yeah. Anyway, it's Arabic for silence. Persian specifically. By the way, do you know they prefer to be called Persian?
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. It is it's the long-time ancient name of the language, and a lot of Arabic languages prefer the term Persian than Arabic, as Arabic ties it to the religion, the Abraham religions, while Persian ties it to the area. So yeah, they give you that word.
Fascinating.
Yeah, interesting.
But yes, I do be careful. We know that those steps have seen a lot of use and are a little slippery. So if you ever do get hurt, though, please come see one of us. We can help you.
All right, we'll do. We'll do.
Flash.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Thank you so much.
They keep walking on.
And
That hurt like
Are
hell.
you okay?
No, the opposite of that actually. But
Yeah, you took radiant damage.
ah,
Now we can get you inside.
That's it.
that's true.
Assuming you still want to go inside.
Might as well now.
It happens again because you say it incorrectly.
I was going to try again anyway.
Alright.
Okay. You want to go again?
Yeah.
As you enter, what do you say?
So Kahoot.
I say it as well.
Okay.
Just to.
Yeah, I like nod you.
Just be like, oh, we solved it. Yeah. As you enter, you do feel the force coming in at you, but as you say the word, you actually feel it pass through you, and you have been given permission to enter.
Meanwhile, Bonnie walks in.
Perfectly fine. But yeah, it is warded against undead, for obvious reasons. If they basically think if you're sentient enough to get the riddle, you're sentient enough to be saved.
Are you sentient enough to be saved?
Nope. I got the riddle.
Do you want to be saved?
No.
Good answer.
I mean, they want to put me in the ground right now. I'm not about that
The
yet.
dogs wanted to put you
Maybe
in the ground.
eventually.
But yes,
Not tired yet, Mom.
I don't want to go to bed.
But I like damnation.
So anyway, you guys enter, and yes, you get past the Forbidden spell. Forbiddance is the spell that's been on this. I'm giving that for the players. Your character have no fucking idea.
Yeah.
It's a 6th level cleric spell. None of you have any idea. But yes, that is Forbiddance. Forbiddance has, if you know the password, you don't get hurt. It has a couple other things with it as well, but that's the important one. And by the way, you would take that every round.
Oh,
Ow!
You are not allowed to be here. And
At
just
all.
Boom, boom, boom.
Get out!
If you
Get
go
out!
leave-
Get out!
You leave or you die. Anyway,
And
you head up to the table, I'm guessing?
there's
Yeah.
a really immature cleric somewhere who puts up a "No Girls Allowed" sign on his church.
A very powerful note. To make it permanent, you cast it every single day for a month and then pay 1,000 gold in rubies.
Yeah.
Also, you can't even denote women. Like, that's not an option.
Would we be able to do something like that on the cart?
Ban Darwin from it?
Well,
No Skelly Boys allowed.
Could you imagine one day he goes to get in it and it's just.
Well, you guys get to keep one day and, like, you hire a cleric to play a plank on Darwin.
so we come up with the camera.
So anyway,
Darn's just lying on the ground smoking. And it's at every entrance.
Got
to
you!
oh, it covers 40,000 square feet.
Oh,
It will
shit.
be at every entrance. So anyway, you guys go to the circle table.
Uh-huh, yeah.
Very nice, understated. There are stepping stools for the smaller races, of course. They're the built-in ones that you've seen in Witchmont and other places. Once again, two males. These are brothers. They have the insignias of brothers, which means that they're slightly higher ranked. Brothers are fundamentally workers of the temple. An acolyte might move on and actually do something else. They're fundamentally a student. Like if they're from Moradin, they actually might become a blacksmith or something like that. Various other things like this. A brother or sister is somebody who is, I'm actually a cleric and I'm training to, and I'm going in the church. So. Alright. One, the slightly older one, probably in his late 20s. The other one in his early 20s. Hi, how can I help you today?
We came here to see whoever's in charge. We have a very important matter to talk about.
We have objects of a sensitive nature.
I see. And they eye each other and I'm just like, so you want to see the person in charge?
Can I insight check that?
Yeah, go ahead.
Do they mean
What the
God?
fuck are they talking about?
You want to see the person in charge? Yes. Draws weapons.
You want to meet God, son?
I did. 3 times.
15.
They're looking at you as a bunch of people that don't know what you're talking about. Like, more like, it's like you walked into the Sears Tower and are like, I want to see the boss. And like, did you just ask to see the CEO? And like at the front desk? Like just walked in and asked?
That's how you know we're adventurers.
They look at you and kind of a little bit dumbfounded. I'm just like, yeah,
Souls are in jeopardy.
you might want to take
Just
that up with...
Take us to whoever can help us with that, please.
If souls are in jeopardy, I recommend you go to the City Guard or the
Dead souls.
Adventurers.
It's,
Okay.
It is the domain of the scientific.
Give us a description on a
I
place.
have no idea why we're being as vague as we are.
Because we were told to keep it secret.
I will put in a word with our paladins, and they can go and...
Like a
Take it.
bunch of souls, a lot of souls compressed into a rock.
A rock, you say?
A rock. A sharp and log, like...
Fucking- I would pull out a shard. Take this to somebody important and show it to them.
Pick it up and just...
He resonates with it.
And looks at it and just... It's fancy. I recommend you take it to a jeweler.
We are telling you, in no uncertain terms, that these are condensed soul.
And at that point, you hear behind you... Condensed souls, you say?
Dun,
Gunwell will just whip around.
You see a rather thin man, about 5'10", with long, faded blonde hair, tied in a loose ponytail on his back. He's wearing very fitting vestments that are made quite elegantly with gold filigrees, but of still practical use and easy to transverse. He has a chain of office around his neck, made of braided rope of silver cord with embedded onyx stones. He carries with him a tall staff at the top with a withered hand. He also has a separate necklace with beads across of it, and a symbol that crosses his shoulder that you recognize as an amulet of the devout. Though this one's quite fancy.
I guess I don't have to go sneaking around.
Condensed souls, you say?
That's right.
And he walks forward and using his stick, and he looks about young 40s. Well, to be young for probably his position. And he takes it from the brother, and this is interesting. Is this yours?
It's ours.
Do you have more of them?
Depends. Who are you?
Of course. And he places it down. I am Chancellor Cooper Buchanan.
Inside check.
Oh,
Also
okay.
insight.
He's, by the way, it's Cooper, as in like the barrel maker,
Mhm.
and then Buchanan, like actually Buchanan.
I crit. 26.
Woo.
21 on that.
Cool. He is not deceiving you. He's giving you his
Amazing!
name.
So that was Chancellor.
Chancellor Cooper Buchanan.
Was Chancellor one of the ranks?
Chancellor is one of the ranks. Chancellor is one of the highest ranks.
Common?
Buchanan, like
Buchanan.
Buchanan.
Like, yeah.
That's not how you spell that. I'll fix it later. I won't.
He's going to insist you call him Mr. Buchanan or Chancellor Buchanan.
I mean, that would be respectful. Cooper! Hey, Cooper!
Yeah.
Oh, I got two.
It's one of those names that just like, it's like, you can't be a 56-year-old Cooper.
You can.
Only if you're like a prospector.
There's gonna be like 80-year-old Aidens one day.
Yeah, that doesn't make it better.
You'll be an 80-year-old Alex.
You can be an 80-year-old Alex. Be an Alexander at that point.
I think you're biased.
Might be biased.
There used to be like 6-year-old Ethels.
I am Chancellor Cooper Buchanan. Pleasure to make your acquaintance.
I'm gonna meet you.
And these look quite interesting.
Yeah, and we kind of need someone who might be able to help us figure out what to do with them.
If anyone in this building can, it'd probably be me.
Should we find a room then?
Follow me. Daryl, Sean, you did well. Keep watching the desk.
Daryl and Trotter, no.
They're asking for the CEO, and the fucking CEO shows up.
He's like, yeah, no, I need to talk to these people.
Yep. You follow him to the back of the corridors. As you're walking down this main one corridor, again, on either side of you are entrances to rooms. These rooms are viewing rooms that didn't have doors to the outside. It's where it's basically where the viewing goes, and then the viewing gets taken to the plot after this. You get to the back, and it's the offices, and there's actually quite a lot of paperwork in this. It's the records of death, who's buried where, the plots of such, and there's also some more mundane things, including people buying plots of like, I want my family to be here and all together, and people negotiating terms for tombstones and care and other things like that, like the actual mundane things of running a cemetery. He takes you past all of those doors and entrances and such, some of which are in a bullpen, some behind actual doors, and it takes you to an elevator. Elevators are not common, but they're not uncommon.
We've seen one.
That was a rather unique one, because it was powered by tree, enslaved tree.
We fixed that.
Yep. This one is a mechanical one. It's quite small, like half the party at a time. And he turns around and goes, I'm sorry, this is the only way up to my office. We'll have to go in 2 groups.
It's alright.
It doesn't really matter, this is not like a super story component, but yeah, it's an office only available from an elevator, and the elevator ain't that big, because it's an actual elevator. It doesn't have, like, the closing doors are like the mesh kind, the old kind of, like
like just scissor gates.
Yeah, scissor gates. You'll both get up, and it's a rather short hallway, and you can see 2 paladins either side his door. Hard to tell how ranking they are, but they are definitely paladins by the plate armor, shield, and swords, and the holy symbol on the shield. He walks directly past them, and you see him motion to them and to basically say, like, these people are with me. And opens his door and holds it for the first group. And then you wait a bit and the second group comes in. His office is nice. It's definitely an office that's been passed down. Like, whoever is the chancellor at the time gets this office. Which means that it has kind of a collected assortment of things. It's got definitely his desk, and you can see his kind of personality, rather neat and tidy with it. But it's got bookcases of weird rewards and medals, shields, commemorations of things. Interesting trinkets and stuff given to him or found to him, either him or his predecessors. So it's very busy. It's organized, but it's busy. It's got a lot of stuff going on to it. There are also no windows, and it has a dome ceiling. This dome ceiling is painted, though, to mimic the night sky.
Ooh,
Nice.
Lit by glowing orbs, similar to dancing lights, but brighter.
50.
He takes a seat at his desk. There are a couple of seats just around, but not enough for all of you.
I'll stand.
I'll stand.
No more stand.
I sit.
You're a prince. You should sit.
About half of you can sit, fundamentally. He's got like 4 chairs.
I said,
You stand on the chair to be tall enough to see over the desk.
So once again, I am Chancellor Buchanan. Buchanan. It's a word I have oddly trouble saying.
Well, it's harder to say in his voice because of his
Mm.
inflection.
I lead the Temple of the Silent Lady. And you have in your possession some very interesting stones.
That we do, and that's why we're here.
Nice.
It's dead.
Then to start, could you tell me everything you know about said stones? Including where you found this one.
well,
This one was part of a meteor.
Okay.
a
Where did
meteor,
it fall?
a meteor struck
Later.
a nearby town.
So that's what happened at Landover. We heard about things, but
People knew that the town just stopped for a week.
it was pretty obvious. But they also knew it was being handled.
Yeah.
Uh,
But yeah, it landed in Landover.
Kicked everybody's souls out of their bodies when it hit.
interesting.
We fixed that.
So they were still attached.
Yeah. They couldn't really go too far, actually.
Interesting.
And when we broke the meteor, they all got shoved back in.
That's good. All right. So very few losses of life.
Just one, and that was a physical
unavoidable,
problem.
yeah.
Meteor hit the building he was in.
Oh, let's be glad it was only the one.
Yeah.
Never mind. It's not important. I was gonna mention the rats.
I was also thinking about
yeah.
I mean, that's worth mentioning. It
Yeah.
gave sentience to.
Yeah, it turned a bunch of rats sentient.
And then they lost it when
In a
we
hive mind?
destroyed
Their heads were
Media.
glowing.
So they gained sentience.
Yep.
Sentient hive mind, yeah.
They talked to us.
They wanted us not to destroy the rock because they wanted to keep being sentient, but we couldn't figure any other way to save everybody else.
And we valued them over.
The rats didn't try that hard. They were just kind of like, please, no.
They hadn't developed flying yet, so
They were probably quite
more
new
advanced
to.
tactics were beyond them, yeah.
It altered time in the town. So who knows how long the rats actually had sentience in their perception for.
Probably not too long. But that is good to know, actually. So anything else about it?
all of the monsters.
When I touched it, I turned into a large monster.
A medium entry.
A medium-sized monster, and he will describe the monster.
But only when it was whole. Before we shattered it.
And that's interesting to me. How did you shatter it?
The power of music.
There was a person in the town who was brought there also after the meteor, and they had seen these meteors before and knew that if you were able to harmonize with them, it would result in it breaking into smaller, more manageable pieces.
I see.
Can I roll a vibe check? on
Yeah,
this
I'm gonna
too?
do a vibe check to see if
Go
he
ahead.
has like sinister. Something sinister. That was not one, but it didn't count.
That was a drop, not a roll.
Hey, it's Macaw Talk mug. Good mug.
Alex checking if he
Oh,
broke
car
it.
talk. I have not thought about that in a while.
Aha! 18 plus number.
Ooh, numbers.
21.
21?
19.
19. Cool. That's high enough that I will check his sheet.
Ooh, neat. Love checking the sheet.
Because he's good, but I forget what he's good at.
He's good, but I'm better.
He's good at smelling weird.
All right, Sadie. You're in rare form today. Excellent work.
Second to last session. Ooh.
To be fair, if it's notable above Darwin, then she's not wrong.
Oh, don't.
Your books don't smell that bad.
Why do you smell like bees?
I have a counter for the last time I've banned.
See,
I'm pretty sure we're in double digits.
I feel like your bones wouldn't be the smelly part. It's
Yeah,
the
but
dirt on
I
your
still
clothes.
eat food, and then the bugs eat that food.
Oh, that's true.
and
The
then-
bugs do poop.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's just clearing out the bug poop.
Yep. Just occasionally.
I vote once a month at least.
You just need like air dusted every once in a while.
Yes.
Since soil is made from like decayed plants and animals and people and all their shit, would I be able to mold earth? The
Stuff inside Darwin.
Yeah, the bug dookie.
No, it would. At that point, it's manure. It needs more time to become Earth.
Tragic.
But if we wait long enough,
Alternatively, prestidigitation.
By the time it's dirt, it's not smelling anymore.
So, he has a very low
Heck, by the time
charisma.
it's
Actually,
manure,
moving up.
it really doesn't smell anymore.
And let's see. Oh yeah, you both beat it. No, he's just keeping his cards close to his chest. He wants to know what you know beforehand. But I will say, with your successes, you're not getting evil vibe. You're getting someone in power trying to figure out what these adventurers know.
Okay. Cool.
It's like I'm not telling them any more than they know, sort of thing.
Do I need to continue involving these people in this problem? Or can I just take the problem and leave them alone?
Mm-hmm. It's like if somebody found a rock of uranium and just like, we found this like
The
this
government
shiny
showed
rock,
up.
and it's like, wow, that's
And-
nice
and we
shiny
just-
rock.
we just
Why
brought
don't
it to
we
town
take that
hall.
from you?
And here's some money to buy it from you.
And where did you get that rock?
Oh yeah.
And then we go, are they evil? We wanting to know where we got this uranium? Probably.
Yes.
I was
Yes, we
thinking of
are.
attaching it to a spear and throwing it long distances.
But,
As part of all this, that same person who helped us shatter the rock told us that sometimes religious organizations could figure out something to do with them.
that clerics and members of the church would get visions for pieces of
Some kind of ritual. sometimes.
From
But then
the
forget about it
original
after,
god.
so.
and that ritual would result in the souls that make up these stones evaporating off to wherever they may go.
Anything else?
Bray is running out of ideas.
I
If we
think
have
that's it.
should we tell them about the soul stealing ones? Like the ones that turn people into red goblins?
Oh, that's Tanner's.
Oh.
That rearranges and cookie cutters souls. If you wanted to do that, you can. There's one thing you did miss. She was also putting them into people.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
We also figured out that you can use these if they match a person to give that person strange new changes and abilities.
Interesting.
Yes, they were able to work with.
That one I'll say, like, you visually see, like, that
You know
is
too much.
that feels a little new to it seems like new information to him. He was kind of nodding along with everything else you said. And I consider your thing on a separate level. If you want to do that one, you can.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so they were able to implant, I suppose, small
Yeah.
shards of the stone into people, and it would do things like give them telekinetic powers or.
But it had to match the person somehow, like connect to them. So it wasn't like you could take it and shove it into anyone.
Interesting.
You know, one sliver might match one person.
Just like the big rock resonated, each one of the little shards has its own separate resonance.
Yeah, the longer they're apart, I think, the more separate they become.
Hmm. Okay.
And we do have more of them.
How much more?
About 100?
Was it 100 or 300?
It was like a couple hundred. So between like 200 potentially.
Just under 200, I think. At a rough count.
Are we measuring yours and it's like
We haven't yet.
Okay.
Mm-mm. I consider that separate. You can if you want, but that is a separate thing.
Yeah, it's like honey versus mead.
Actually, you can, because this is honey. You have a worked one,
Yeah.
which is mead. Is that all that were part of this meteor?
No.
No, the people who helped us destroy it, part of their help was we gave them half of it.
2/3.
2/3.
3/4.
3/4.
Math. I'm the smartest one here.
And this group, they were the one with this individual that told you all this, and
Yes.
figured
Yeah, that's
this
right.
out. That's actually slightly reassuring. These stones. Well, it seems you have a lot of the information already, which is good. One of the best things I think I can tell you is that most of what you just said is absolutely correct.
Most.
Well, I will get to those parts.
Alright.
Whoever this individual that figured this out is, I applaud their knowledge. Either they are incredibly gifted or have very powerful contacts within one of the religious organizations here or abroad. They were fundamentally right in a lot of what they said. This is condensed soul energy. You see, when we pass, our souls go to the astral plane first. On a mechanical level, at least, this is what happens. At that point, you are supposed to float towards your deity, attracted by like-minded individuals. You all congratulate into one thing, and that's what creates the plane, such as Elysium. That being said, it was not always a perfect system. And it also could take time. People could arrive after a relative, even though they died first. That was the simplest ones. The worst cases is when you went to the wrong place. And traversing these planes when you're one of these entities is difficult, to say the least. You get entwined with it, imbued with it. We feel this is where the Silent Lady came about. That's why she's one of the younger gods. Eventually a force came about that we call the Silent Lady, and she helps sort them. So we haven't seen these rocks in a very long time, but we have records of them from the past. And yes, they are souls that never found their planes. And so they attracted each other and grew physical. And they have some interesting properties that we know of. They're near indestructible. And they resonate. So what she said there was true. The last part about how she knew about our ways of separating these souls is quite interesting. I will tell you now that is closely guarded secrets, as any soul manipulation we feel is somewhat dangerous, can be abused.
Yeah.
Those rituals, as far as we know, though I haven't been part of one, nor anyone I know of for several hundred years, released the energy and basically started the cycle again. Only this time the Silent Lady was there to direct them where they needed to go. We felt that was the fairest way, or at least the gods told us it was, and we agree with them. But nonetheless, these rocks come down periodically, and parts of some have come across various desks. And your friend was right. Anyone who participates in these rituals does not retain the information. We do know this from journals of my predecessors that they know this before the ritual and know they will lose this knowledge. And they were okay with it. How she figured that out, or sorry, how they figured that out is quite impressive. And it's also not wrong. Now, what are these in total is a very interesting question. Because what is condensed soul? Yes?
It's a soul that's condensed.
Very true.
I was gonna say apparently it's pointy rocks.
It's also that. But down on a fundamental level, it is energy, power. The greatest condensed source of power in existence. What fuels the gods themselves, the planes we live on. The creation and moving of matter. One of these shards in the wrong hands can cause untold havoc. So we do keep quite quiet about them. And when we come across them, we do destroy them.
Ah, yes,
We
my
just
hands.
We just gave hundreds
Yeah.
to a mercenary tribe.
We had this discussion.
We
What?
did have this. We
Yeah.
made this decision.
We did.
You were for this at the time.
Yeah, you got a lot of loot out of it.
Yeah.
It's okay. We can use that loot to kill the Drokig dragon. Just give us a couple.
Here's the thing. I
rolls.
feel like Tong is on the up and up with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
And
why.
she's
That's
the-
why we
And
ended up entrusting.
they're
her
the
to it.
ones, and they're the person who can actually manipulate it at all.
Yeah.
Drokig might just overdose on them and kill himself.
You can help.
He can't underdose. He's too far gone.
My hires a mercenary gang when he hears we're coming. Meet up with them. They just have gems all over their bodies.
We'll have gems all over our bodies
Drokig
too.
might die, but it'll just become something
Just-
else.
Oh,
The
yeah.
bedazzled Drokig.
So, if you wouldn't mind, from what I've told you, the importance of these shards cannot be understated. And I will ask you, as a practitioner of Her Lady's work, if we may have them from you, and we are willing to exchange favors or castings. We don't have much gold, but we have many skills, myself included.
I want insight again.
Go right ahead.
I think you need a favor.
Specifically, I want to see if they're actually
I'm gonna
planning
wait
on like,
until-
releasing the souls.
Oh, yeah, sure.
So,
That's
face. 12.
What? Can you even get a 12? Oh.
I guess I could use my inspiration, but I'm not going to.
oh, do it.
You can't get more if you don't use the ones you have.
I did miss out on 2 today.
Mm. Please use your inspiration. It's meant to be burned.
I do.
I know. I appreciate it. You do it like I do it. I got it. I'm burning it. Okay.
21.
I tend to save it for like things that I don't want to fail on.
And then you're just like, oh, this is a meme inspiration.
I'll burn it so
Well, unless
quickly.
I'm rolling like a 19, I roll a 1, which I get to reroll anyway.
Yeah.
With the
I want
21,
fail safes built in.
you, actually, oh, wait. Yeah, you see it through. No, he wants to destroy these. You see I would say with that insight, he seems excited to. It looks to be like a very rare and personal ritual, like between you and a god, and you and a couple other clerics. It's a very close relationship, like it's like working with like, you know, like if you were new to a company that you loved and you got to work directly with the CEO.
What to say? So like basically, it's like.
And you
like
signed
the
the
boss.
roll.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah, you get to work with the head honcho and just like, oh, this is
You, a
nice.
small team, the boss, and the world's most drastic NDA.
Very much so. But yeah, you can tell he's a little bit excited, but mostly like I get to work with like the silent lady on this. and like get to put that down in the like official records that only people like me get to know.
If he didn't have his highest position, he'd be squeeing right now.
Definitely thought you were going to say, I get to put that in my resume. Worked with God.
He already gets to put that in there. He's a chancellor.
I guess, yeah.
Alright.
Works
yeah.
directly with God.
It's very much. He seems excited to be working with him, like the god.
He's excited by this opportunity.
Return to the party. He seems all right in front of the dude.
Well, I appreciate that. Thank you.
A favor, you said.
Oh, I will also say one more thing. You'd also believe him when he says they don't have a lot of money. Believe it or not, a lot of the funds are.
Business expenses.
Well, kind of, yeah. Basically, they do sell, like, they sell the pots and they sell certain things, but it's to keep the roof on and maintenance up and stuff like that. And anything they don't keep from, like, self-producing, they get from the state. And it's very much of, like, a government institution. They're given just enough to get by. And if they want more to do something, it's a process where they have to propose it and stuff like that. It's very much a government agency.
Did you say they sell pot or sell pots?
Plots.
Okay.
Damn.
Sorry, no, that's a different. That's the
That's a
nature
different
people.
god.
That's
Yeah.
a different church.
Yeah. No, they sell plots of land
That's
for like
what-
burials and stuff, and they also maintain crypts, because you only bury for so long, and then you bought bones and moved under into the crypt.
Bones.
Alright.
Should we find Darwin a house?
I believe that
Kinda
a
consider.
favor can be arranged.
No.
I came across an artifact from before Ishmael's redemption.
Really now.
Yeah,
That's-
you-
you
it
guys
is
seem
it is
to-
a warhammer. So just
That's
putting
perfectly
that out
fine.
there, and he will take it out and
Put it down. You guys seem to get into very interesting stuff.
Yeah.
You would
When
Whether
I-
we want to or not.
When I picked that thing up, Ishmael himself told me that it needed to be destroyed. I need information on how to do that.
I can help you with that. And if anything else, we can make the trade a little broader. If he wants it destroyed, I'm sure the Siren Lady would agree with him. They're quite close, actually.
Ah, I know.
I'll make the deal. We will help you in any way possible beyond this casting.
Thank you. Is that okay with everyone?
Small
But
caveat.
Mhm.
Casting of sending.
Certainly, I can definitely do that.
Cool.
But I would need all. I do appreciate this, but I would like all of the crystal that you found. I specifically said found, so this does not include yours.
No, I'm aware.
Alright. I don't see
I
a
mean,
problem with
this
that.
was our goal, yeah.
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 We can give you all the pieces of the meteor.
We
Yeah,
have
you
those.
have. And the Stroke Kid clan.
Oh, I left their name out of it.
Yeah, we left
Oh,
it
you
there.
said no. You
no,
said
I
the
said
Droke.
Droken.
Yeah,
He
he
said
said
it.
Droke.
Oh.
To
Yeah.
someone else.
Oh, I
No,
thought we used-
I said it to him.
I think
Okay.
he said it in both conversations.
Gotcha.
Mhm. We might, if they're truly mercenaries, and this is important enough, which I truly believe it is, we might be able to sequester some funds and see if we can get them to part ways.
I'm not sure that would happen.
And it's a good shot. Gold speaks volumes.
Yeah, but their boss really wanted this rock.
Well, it's broken now, so he can't even get what he wanted.
Yeah.
It is an option.
We'll go prepared, I guess.
Just be careful.
They
Stop
do.
it,
They
you
do
mean.
mainly operate in the desert, though. So.
Leave our name out of it. He
Please.
probably hates us.
Yeah, he does not like
Oh
us.
yeah, no.
He was unconscious when we left.
No.
I will keep you out. Speaking of which, what is your party's name?
Pact magic.
Yes.
I will keep a note of that. It seems
Sorry.
you guys are individuals of great resource. We don't have many tasks for adventurers that can't be handled by our paladins, but it's good to know that there are capable people in our empire.
Well, nothing else. We keep stumbling into things like this.
We fought 2 mummy lords.
You fought one mummy lord,
We
what?
fought 2. One was
Oh,
the first
no,
time I
think
got.
It was just a mummy.
Yeah.
lord.
No, you fought a mummy.
Both give
We
you
weren't
rock.
high enough level.
That's
for
how
mummy
we know
lords.
we're going places. Moving up in the world.
We
The things
Well,
we're killing
but-
have titles.
used
I guess they
half
were
of a
both
round of
mummy
combat to kill a mummy lord.
One was a mummy, one was a mummy lord.
But
We made
the
a
point is, they
pyramid.
both gave our paladin mummy. Right?
Next, we're gonna fight a mummy supreme emperor.
Mummy
And then
Kim
on top
Jong
of
Il.
that, mummy daddy.
That's the highest rank.
Yeah.
Just above.
Do you want
Mummy
these
God.
like on your desk or?
Actually,
There's quite a lot of them.
There's a lot of them.
then let me call an acolyte after we do our the first things with this, and I'll get them to bring up a bag of holding.
Alright.
They all fit in the bag of holding. They do fit in yours.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, they should all fit into one.
we're ignoring the fact that they're stupidly pointy.
I wasn't sure if we had them separated between bags of holding.
Even if you did, it's perfectly fine.
It can all fit in one. Okay.
That for ease of use, if not with
Fair enough.
Same way we do with coins. Otherwise, you guys would
Quest
need
items weigh nothing.
Yes.
quest items weigh nothing.
And are not
Unless you're
pointy.
playing Skyrim.
That weighs 40 fucking pounds.
It's a good thing we're not playing Skyrim.
There's a couple glitch
What
items
does
too
a
that were
dragon
like
for?
4 pounds. That just like by the end of this, like my default weight is 20 because I can't get rid of things.
So while you're doing this, I'm just gonna start.
Yep. Oh, actually, no, do wait for that.
Yeah,
Actually.
no, he
Yeah.
wants you to wait.
Until he can get an acolyte to come in with a.
Okay.
We're just gonna put them straight from one bag into another bag,
Mhm.
so that as few people touch them as possible.
He actually doesn't seem to be really concerned about touching.
Oh,
them.
okay. Everyone else has been concerned about it.
Mhm.
Well, you know what? I think he would know more than us, so I don't think we have to worry
That's fair.
about that.
I've been touching them all this time. I have long gotten over my concern.
But like
about that.
he wants to reduce the amount of people that know about this, so he's gonna put
Gotcha.
like they are gonna drop off the bag and leave.
Fair.
Sean and Derek or whatever his name is, they know.
I will make sure to talk to them. They're easily influenced. We'll make sure they get the good shifts for a while.
Works.
Now, this Warhammer pre-redemption, you said.
Aye.
Okay.
What?
Well then, let's take a look. Let me get some things ready, and he starts to point out some materials for casting. Mostly just a fuck ton of incense. But he also pulls out. Actually, no, he asks for you behind you. No, you're sitting down. Behind you.
Yeah.
Third shelf to the left, you'll see a small box that's engraved. Open it. It should have ivory strips into it, about 5 of them. Thank you.
I will put the box back where I got it from.
Yep.
Is there anything good?
Oh,
in the
sorry,
box?
there's 4 of the ivory strips. It was just the strips.
Ah.
They're very nice ivory strips. They look
There
to
are
be
just spell components?
Yeah.
Have no use for them in this character.
He puts the warhammer down, and on one of the on each cardinal direction puts down one of the slats, and then takes this incense, and it's a small bag of what looks to be really expensive incense. And like, believe it or not, this is far more convenient. I would have to use a mound of lavender otherwise. And he makes a small circle using it, and just like adds a little bit more in some places, and like, nah, it looks about right. This is me. Yep. All right, this will take about 10 minutes. Let's see what it is. And he puts his hands down on the table and begins saying a prayer. He's doing a prayer in Celestial, and I don't think anybody speaks.
I don't think anyone speaks it,
Good.
no.
That means I don't have to make up anything.
Yeah, I think Godfrey might have.
Yes, he did. As he begins the prayer, right in front of him, the incense starts to burn and starts to burn in a circle. And fundamentally, he keeps doing that, and it's keeping track of time. When it matches up at the other end, 10 minutes have passed.
Neat.
And yes. So I actually need to get the actual item up. That way I can give you the full details. Because you're about to get everything.
I want to write it down. My boy.
Talking about the pile of lavender thing.
This
I'm
is when you
imagining-
put out Gunmar's page.
It's just saffron. It's just a bag of saffron.
Yeah, no, just like a nature cleric. It's just like, yeah, no,
Gunmar too.
this is 20 pounds of lavender. The flowers are gonna talk to me and tell me what it does.
Ah, no, just Gunmar one.
He's the only one with a 1. Everybody else just has their name.
So, the 10 minutes do go by. The smoke kind of fills the room a little bit, but it dissipates pretty quickly. This is a ventilated room.
We opened a bottle of fog.
10 minutes go by, and he continues the prayer the whole time. If you guys want to do anything, let me know. Otherwise, a kind of an awkward 10 minutes goes by because he's fully concentrating on this, and this is, you can kind of feel the brunt of heavy magic is going on right now. Radiant magic, holy magic. 10 minutes stops, and he brings his head a little bit down. He was a little bit up, and his eyes start glowing white, and he speaks in an echoey voice. And he speaks, "Here is Ishmael's anger." That's the actual item name. "Those that have it shall have the strength of a war leader, and all those powerful enough shall know their presence. But be warned, any who carry this weapon with intent, they shall never see it leave their side. They shall bloody its hilt every day, and they shall long for war."
Really glad I didn't attune to this.
Curse of binding.
"Inside this hammer lies the spirit Abrande." It's once again it's Arabic. Barande. Brande.
B-A-R-A-N-D-E.
Ande. Yeah. It actually has a bunch of other things about it, like no lumouts, but the point is, it's Arabic. It means I'm crushing, by the way, but that's not really important. This planetar served under Ishmael. He rebelled against his masters with his brothers when his master abandoned his calling. He sequestered his soul into this hammer and longs to influence those men of this mortal plane to re-incite the glory of war and victory in Ishmael. And any that were attuned to this item will wish for glory in battle and strive to cause war in this world. Its curse, though, may be broken. Should Balatar fall, this weapon shall be cleansed and claimed again by Ishmael the Redeemed, and strength upon it shall be granted. I'm going to leave it there, but there are some mechanics to this that you just get.
That name is wild. I pulled it up and I'm looking at it. It's crazy.
Yep.
You can search for it as Ishmael's Anger.
Yep.
Which I feel like is fair because we
Yes,
just got Legend Lord.
you can just look up Ishmael's Anger. There's an apostrophe. War Leader basically means that as an action you can make your voice go really loud, basically. Goes 300 feet, but fundamentally you can address a battlefield. The second one is Strong Aura. Anyone who can cast a spell over 3rd level, once you attune to this, they know where you are, where it is, within 100 feet of them. It radiates a strong aura. The curse. It's a curse of binding. It has to stay by your side. To hand over this weapon or to leave it from you would take a saving throw, and even then it wouldn't block the curse. And part of the curse is you have to use it on somebody every single day. Somebody has to be bloodied by this hammer. And not
like mechanic or...
Yeah, like someone has to be hit with... Mechanically, You must also cast and cause damage via the spell Wrathful Smite, which it gives you a free casting of every day, against another humanoid once a day. If you fail to do so,
I volunteer as tribute.
you must roll the damage for a level 2 smite done with this Warhammer with an added d6 of psychic damage and apply the damage to yourself at the end of a long rest, which means the first thing you do when you wake up, the day after you don't hit somebody, is take damage.
It's a heck of a hangover.
So do you want to be a paladin or do you want to be a fallen paladin?
Secondly, Longing for War is the Planetar. There's a Planetar in this. He can be summoned out of this Warhammer
Via this spell.
via a spell. The spell is a Word of Radiance, a 7th level cleric spell. If a special word, which you now know but it isn't written down, it's supposed to be a personal element, will summon the Planetar out of this, and he must be defeated in single combat. If you do not defeat him, your soul gets sucked into the Warhammer.
So what level do we have to grind Gunmar to fight a Planetar?
Planetar is a CO 16, so make your choice.
We can do it now. You got this.
Does single combat mean literally
Single combat.
Single combat.
Um,
So that's how you
I might redefine that depending on how other people want to do this. Right now, single combat as you gotta fight him.
Or whoever summons him, I presume.
No, actually, this is not written down because it's gonna. The word Radiance summons him, and then someone challenges him.
Ah, okay.
So that's the fundamentals of
I
it.
think
It doesn't
so.
have to
Take
be
him.
the cleric that summoned him. Because it is a 7th level cleric spell.
That's yeah.
Secondly, to get if you lose and your soul gets sucked in, he either has to be defeated, which then sends your soul back into the astral plane and allows you to come back via resurrection, or any other kind of spell like that. Or somebody can cast Wish and they can rip it from it. So that's mechanically what it does. Lore-wise, it's one of Ishmael's old Planetars, one of his soldiers, and he didn't like the fact that his god was foregoing war. And him, along with several other of his soldiers, rebelled. This one did it by throwing himself into his own warhammer and leaving it on a battlefield to cite war whoever picks it up.
Uh-huh.
And your god was like, "Hey, buddy, be careful with that one."
Destroy it. Were it so easy.
You just have to get to level 20.
I'll fight the Minotaur.
It's not a Minotaur.
It's a Planetar.
I'll fight the planet.
It's a spear.
Fuck you, Jupiter.
Jupiter would actually be really hard to fight. It's a gas giant.
Light it on fire.
You like
Now it's a
fire in
fire
space
giant.
and tell me how that goes.
That's how rockets work.
That's how the sun works.
We don't like them in space.
I'm pretty sure Jupiter's a planet.
I'm pretty sure it's the sun.
Anyway.
Neither of these planets exist.
Oh no, where'd Jupiter go?
Where'd the fucking sun go?
Look, it's dark outside.
But yeah, the Planetar currently needs to be killed in single combat, but I think you could probably fudge that if you guys would like, to be single combat as party combat. I'll let you know.
It depends when we want to fight a Planetar.
Yep.
Because single combat against a Planetar is
A
rough.
death sentence.
It
At our
is,
level it is, yeah.
actually, no, at your level it's going to be pretty one-sided. 7 on one target is always pretty
No,
one-sided.
no, single combat.
Yeah, individually.
Individually.
Like if Gunmar were
no.
to fight a Planetar, he would need to be a higher level.
Yes, no, like true single combat.
Yeah.
But like if single combat is the party, it's a one-sided
If we're
fight.
ganking
I feel like
Planetar.
I feel like I could talk a Planetar into letting us all fight.
Oh. If we've proven anything, it's that we can talk Planetars into doing stuff.
Oh yeah, you weren't there.
Yep.
D&D things happen.
We talked a Planetar into doing stuff.
Are you killing itself?
We power a friendship to Planetar.
To death.
Not this game.
Not this game.
This game, we're going to kill a Planetar.
With actual murder.
Yeah.
Huh.
As he comes down and like from we've telling you the legend lore of this item, he goes, "Whew." That's heavy.
You're telling me I have to fight that thing by myself.
Don't have to do it right now.
That's rough, buddy.
Cowabunga, dude. I think this might. We will help in whatever way we can. I think buffing you is something we can all do. Give you. We have a number of clerics here. We give you a little bit of an advantage. But a Planetar is a very powerful celestial being.
Mm-hmm.
It might not be something you want to rush into right now, but I'm not fully sure of your full capabilities. But it seems fairly clear that to kill it needs to be one-on-one. Though honestly, I don't know how you would prevent that otherwise. I guess it could run back into its... Yeah, well, we could do that. It could run back into the Warhammer if it thinks it's being cheated, and someone would have to cast Word of Radiance again, and I can only do that twice a day. Yeah. You're talking to a Chancellor.
I mean, fair enough, but oh boy. You saw that double take.
Oh boy.
That just means he's level 15.
Okay, I think we need to sit on that bit.
We'll table that
Yeah.
For a minute. I had a question about sending.
Okay.
Not to change the subject entirely.
No, that's perfectly fine. As long as you don't attune to that, it's safe to handle.
If I were to
Put it
describe
in a
something
bag.
to you in detail,
Mm-hmm.
would you be able to send a sending to them?
There's a decent chance. If I can get a picture and a name, that's the biggest things.
Okay.
You seem magically inclined. Do you have minor image?
I do. Sorry, I just said that automatically because I usually do. But I don't know if I do or not.
You can also use major image. If you just want
You
to
could
blow
also
that.
kind of disguise yourself into like a tiny version of them.
I have prestidigitation, which can make small trinkets.
You can make a cartoony version of them.
If I know who they are, I could make them in mold earth.
You can make a statue version of them.
Disguise self might be your best option.
We'll come back and I need to attune to the hat.
Does Tanner know that?
No!
Oh, okay.
No. Gunmar, I need you to attune to the hat.
I don't have any attunement slots.
Okay. But if you turn into Ronvi, you can get another message to him.
Fuck, you make a good point.
Also, you don't have to stay attuned to it. We need it for like an hour.
Yeah, I'll do that. I'll attune for mine, or it's already on D&D Beyond.
If you need to attune something, that may take some time.
Yes.
If you would like to come back, I can make some room in my schedule, and we can make this a little bit more official, and I can get some clerics together if you would like to attempt to kill the Planetar, or
Not today. Nah, that requires...
that might be
Maybe later in the week.
that might be a few months down the line.
2 weeks
Maybe
when we're
after
2
we
levels higher.
commission a few things.
What is the best way to reach you in the future for that?
Sending's good. I'm not blocked by sending for. I can put you on a white list, basically.
You putting what you on a white list?
Yeah, technically.
I can be kind of vague with it. It's context based. If I put pack manager, any one of you should be okay.
Alright.
Let's wait 2 more levels.
I think we'll probably take the day with all this information. We've already given them crystals, yeah?
I'm going to say at this point, the acolyte had come in, dropped off the bag, and left. Obviously, doing the ritual
Well, then,
process.
yeah, then during Legend Lore, we're just dumping crystals into this thing.
Yeah.
Yep. That actually makes a lot of sense. That was something you could do while
Yeah.
he's just burning incense. And granted, an acolyte can watch him and was like, oh, that's Legend Lore. That's, yeah, okay. They're
This is
special.
above my pay grade. Bye.
I could do that someday. Maybe.
Probably not.
If I work really hard.
Mhm. I could know about random objects.
Kill a whole
250 gold at a time.
I can know very thoroughly about random objects.
Yeah, no kidding.
Legend lore, the spork.
You would get a lot of information about the sport.
Invented by Kyle Spork.
So yeah, I will say, you're welcome anytime. Though if you do need a full appointment with myself, I'll let the front desk know that you are owed. And so should you ask, they'll get me at my earliest convenience.
Okay.
Though, depending on the day, I am sometimes indisposed of my higher level spells, depending on who I have to meet.
That's fair.
And so we might come best for you is to come the day before. That way I can keep my spell slots secluded. Or sequestered for your use, including Word of Radiance. I might, such as today, I do not have that prepared. It's a particular spell.
Alright. Okay. So, any more questions?
I don't have any.
Not at the moment.
You said that the Silent Lady isn't as old as the other gods. How old is she?
I have given you her age before. I believe she's 900 some.
That's really young.
Yeah, she's
Very young.
very young.
That's only slightly older than the 800-year-old skeleton that met with Bandwood.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Something weird happened about a millennia ago.
Crazy. Yeah.
And then Darwin was
Death
born
God
before
was
that.
born.
Actually, I'm gonna throw that out there. Don't look too hard into that. That may be a Henry situation.
It's because a million years sounds good.
Yeah, 1,000 years, you know, 800.
A millennia. A millennia sounds good.
It's a good time
once,
period.
Once in a millennia.
So yeah,
Skeletons rise.
the Silent Lady is quite young, but believe it or not, most of the gods are.
Really?
The gods are possibly as young as the oldest being 10,000. Maybe as much as 12.
Do we as people know how old the rock is that we're living on?
Not really. You know it's old.
Fair enough.
No, the time of the Earth thing and stuff like that is not quite. You know it's old. As far as it'd be known as in memoriam, as in as far back as living memory, the material plane has existed.
I guess living memory is whatever the oldest elf is.
Mm-hmm. Oh, there's other beings like
That's
What's
Rana.
her name? Yeah.
Can animals have gods?
They are. They live on oh, I am not gonna find this plane. It's one of the higher planes.
Is it Beastlands?
It is the Beastlands.
Shush, Muff.
And they formed, interestingly, the current theological theory states that the beasts of the world, as they passed on, culminated in what is known as the Beastlands, a beautiful, wild, flowing nature. But like the gods of our planes, they had interest in their brethren on the material plane, and used and focused this energy, and that's when some of the bestial races were created. I understand they live mostly to the north in an independent land, but Leonin, elephants, minotaurs, Alkin, and several others, they are all descendant, actually, and created by their bestial ancestry from the Beastlands. Their creation came about because of them.
And then there's the Tabaxi, who are just kind of also...
And the Aarakocra. Tabaxi and Aarakocra are separate.
They didn't do that part.
Nope. They existed before that.
You're especially special. Now we need you to find you a cat friend.
What's your favorite colors?
I'm a fan of a Shiloh Gray.
I don't have that.
I also like orange.
Oh, thank you.
There's a few.
He has it in. He pulls up in just like a busy cabinet. He pulls out a vase, just this, and you see him do create water, and makes just enough to fill it up.
It's a third level spell to water.
He's at least level 15. He's got thirds to burn.
Love it.
another
is
minute?
just Delmar's pose throughout the entirety of the meeting. Just
I admit it's been quite an active day to meet you all, and thank you so much for those crystals. And if you come across any others, my temple and several of the other larger ones I think can help you.
Yeah, about that. So I didn't bring this up earlier because I didn't want it involved in this whole deal. But we got something similar but different. We have reason to believe that some sort of version of those get made into something that then tears apart souls and changes them into the same soul way up in the north.
Oh yeah, he knows. Okay.
Ha!
Sorry,
Finally,
not
an
like
NPC knows.
not like knows. He understands. Because he is surprised as fuck. Because he's hearing this and like it's like you just blasphemed tremendously, and it's not hiding on his face at all. It just
Ah, yes. Hello.
it's not you doing it. It's, but like such atrocities are if truly you hear of this happening.
Yeah, the person we were talking about who knows all this stuff about these shards was a victim and a failed version of this process.
Oh, dear lady. We will.
And I think they're using these, and I'll just put it on the table.
Is that soulstone?
Yeah.
Strange.
It's been the term we heard was worked.
I should say so. All our records talk about the crystals used pointy, sharp, jagged. Never in my entire study have I ever come across one that has been changed. This is grave. And to rob somebody of their soul, to shred it, to morph it forcefully is the highest blasphemy.
Yeah, they're creating whole armies out of this process.
Oh,
They've made a whole species.
dear gods.
That's where red goblins come from.
Red goblins. And, he's gonna roll. He's nowhere fucking close to the border.
Sure.
Should we show him the hand?
I've never heard of red goblins. Well, I say the name rings a bell, but
They mostly operate way up in the north, outside the Empire, up in the Alliance lands.
Okay. I see.
They're subservient to the hobgoblins that are up there.
They take green goblins and they turn them into red goblins. And they're
Should
all
any-
the same.
They would have to be if they're matching souls. It's not the same as polymorph or disguised self or something like that. No, this is changing the physical being of somebody. The body would force itself to fit the new pattern. Such a process would kill people. How they survive is...
I don't know.
I don't know that they did.
Physically, at least, their bodies are still moving around, but yeah, their souls been shattered and sundered.
God. This is grave accusations, and...
Oh, we'll pull out the red goblin hand and just set that on the table too. This is what one of our hands looks like. We found it
Oh, dear God.
in our travels. You're level 15, you see some stuff.
It's a grave cleric, yeah. But it's like, that's a torture victim.
Yep.
It's fundamentally what you just showed us. It's like,
yep.
It's just his hand.
Same.
Yes, but it's a hand made out of solid sin.
And you never thought you would use sign out of fucking high school.
Do you mind if I keep this and do some spells on it?
The hand or the rock?
The hand.
Yeah.
The rock you can keep. I don't know if I can... If the same rituals will do anything to that.
I have no idea. It's very distinctly not magic.
No, that is something we do know about the soul. It's soul energy. Should it ever manifest in anything, it's sometimes referred to as psionic, psychic. It's an expression of the soul. It allows you to connect on deep levels, telepathy, telekinesis and stuff like that are byproducts of it, but also it can be focused to as a weapon as well.
Yep.
But it's fundamentally soul energy, and for the most part, it's an individual soul energy. There's a famous lord up in the north who.
Campus.
Yes, he's a natural telepath.
The note keeper got really excited, then really disappointed.
No, the person really into souls knows about Lord Cantus, who is a natural telepath.
Michael was like, lore! And I was like,
I
oh,
was
lore.
also like, Lord.
Grace and I just had this moment where we were.
Oh no, we can't write down new stuff that we're never gonna find again.
But no, Lord Cantus, very wealthy up in the north. He's a king's rep in some city up there.
We've met him.
Yes, we got our
Really?
start in Ridgemont.
We
Oh,
got our
you-
start in Rydheim, took down a king's rep who was corrupt, and then met Cantus.
oh.
Has word of Bercy made it south yet?
I don't really keep up with the king's rep
Fair.
I don't know.
information.
Fair enough.
No, the elder does, but he's out of town at the moment. You do know the elder is the one in charge of the domain, so they
Yeah.
work closely with king's reps.
That was a political corruption case.
Yeah. I mostly coincide with churches.
Excuse me.
But he couldn't figure out much about this thing either.
That's not necessarily out of the question. Soul and soulomancy and stuff like that, animancy, whatever you would call it, is a very secluded specialty, and is usually, at least in the Empire, you would find that people expressing their own souls, reaching out with it, harnessing it, basically being flexible within of themselves, and using it to express different things, whether enhanced abilities, even recreating spell-like effects and such like that. But it all comes from within, the actual soul that you would have inside of you, to force another soul and shatter it or just cut it into pieces is, especially against the will of the occupant, is true heresy.
Bray doesn't quite know how to articulate this, but Goblin Gravel Soul.
Oh, if you want to
Yeah.
explain that, like when I touch these,
Yeah.
I don't feel anything, and
Yeah.
people have looked at mine and they see it shattered.
Yeah.
Well, we have theorized that yellow goblins are descended from failed experiments of this, which would make sense why your soul is shattered, but it never got cookie cuttered back into
Yeah.
a red goblin.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
It's become a genetic trait at this point.
my people are the byproduct of those failed attempts to make red goblins, it seems.
I see. And the effects, this shadowing of your soul. But you talked to Bodnar up north, right?
Yes.
I'm going to say you just mentioned his name because you did mention Richmond. He actually does know Bodnar.
Sure.
He's also a great cleric of the Silent Lady.
This is Barnar's boss's boss.
Yeah, kind of. And he's head of that temple, so he's a father.
Well, and Bodnar was a unique individual anyway.
Yes, he has a gift. He can see souls.
Good eye for a time.
Yeah.
It's truly helpful, actually, in a lot of ways of finding lost souls. Not all souls, undead, are evil. The ones you would come across would definitely be. The ones that can physically manifest and attack and possess and such. There are minor ones that Bodnar would be able to see and help guide.
Yeah. well,
Mostly just lost
when we
souls.
were in that town, those souls couldn't interact with nothing.
And bound to their own bodies. That's actually quite good.
It's in a distance. They could go a few feet away.
30 feet, yeah.
30 feet.
Mhm.
That's a few.
Mhm.
They could go around the way.
That's actually quite good to know, especially that we can. Meteors of this are so rare and few. I'll put it up to a freak accident, but any knowledge we have about them are good to know.
They seem
But
to be able to talk to each other, but any attempts to contact them through like sending or something didn't work.
that's worth looking into. But the good news is I don't think it's going to come up anytime soon. But your tribe, your people up in the north.
Yes.
What can you do with your soul? Have your people ever been able to express anything with it?
We would.
Understatement of the century.
We are able to, for example, place our memories into vessels and share them with others. In fact,
And you're also
Yeah.
and like
I'm-
emotions and stuff.
yeah, and as well as emotions. And one such piece is actually, one such jar is actually on its way here. With
God. Yeah, where do we think Jenkins is?
Probably on the way.
Okay.
Like less than 2 days away.
yeah, say
About 2 days, I think.
yeah, a corporal by the name of Jenkins is
Captain.
He's
Captain.
captain now.
captain.
He was a sergeant before
Yeah.
that. You never knew him as a corporal. He was kind of an asshole.
I don't know rankage. Yes, Captain Jenkins is carrying a vessel with one of my memories in it.
I'm sure the king's reps will need to know about that.
Yes.
And, okay.
Yeah, he's coming
Again,
to talk
I don't
to
follow
them.
the political landscape too much, but
Yeah.
hopefully you have that under control.
And
I don't know if under control's the word, but we're trying.
That's good, as long as the people above me know.
It's under something.
And instead of passing on to the astral plane as you described, when we pass, our souls are entering vessels that we had made in life and are placed in places of rest. We are able to actually go and commune with them at later times, or just leave them to their peace.
When you commune, do you actually see the person, a soul representation, or is it more...
Bray doesn't know the answer to this question.
Yes, you do.
Yes.
It's like the commune
Yeah.
spell. Like, they come and, like, sit in front of you and go, like, what questions you got?
Yes.
And stuff like that. It's, like, full on a conversation.
Yes, I'm able to sit and converse with them.
Fascinating.
Well, this man's
Uh,
fine.
Tell me, do you have a god?
No.
None whatsoever.
I don't, but the Green Goblins seem to worship a coming deity.
A new god.
Like, they call him like the Great Green One, I think, if Bray's remembering right.
Yeah.
That is true.
The Great Green One in Goblin.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, the Great Green One. This could be instrumental. If a new deity is being formed, it could confirm or prove a dozen different theories that have been passed around for hundreds of years. It could give us a deep understanding of how gods came about in the first place. Who came first, what were their purposes and their goals, and this could be incredible.
I get to be Goblin Moses and Goblin Newton.
Amazing.
Perfectly balanced as all things must be.
But this definitely needs to be known about. The Empire hasn't fought a foreign war in centuries, but this might be strong enough, especially with the backing of the churches, to put a stop to such atrocities
We just learned about this over in Landover
from the person
from
who
the
survived.
person who
Yeah.
talks about the meteors and
They
soul
were
stones.
mostly red, but partially yellow, as a result of the process being incomplete.
This is a very sensitive topic. I'm sure the king would want to know. I will send word and... what is your goals, by the way? What are you doing?
I feel like you should have asked that.
Nobody knows.
And I feel
Really
like
good question.
I feel like that's a good
Amazing.
thing. Good thing to end it on too.
We'll drop it there then. And
You'd like
Just
to know, Holy
A
Boy.
burst of laughter. What are you doing? Laughter. End.
Well, because we're
Who are you people?
watch out,
we're
this kid.
currently
After
doing like
talking for an hour.
6 different things.
We're on like 5 separate holy quests simultaneously.
For the grace, for the might of our lords.
I'm gonna show that to you.
I will compile a list of
question?
things that I think we're doing, and then we can add
You know
to
what
it
my-
and figure
my
out
name
the
is?
answer to this
Oh,
question.
Gunmar, power
Right
leveling.
there.
Because like,
Yeah, for everyone.
I was just kind of here vibing
See
and
the
doing
papers right
pottery.
there?
No!
Apparently I'm Moses.
No, your
Yeah.
pots matter. You're the new god.
You're the great green one.
wanna
But I'm
do it.
not
I don't wanna
green.